And you want me to handle the first bit?
Yep, please.
All right, you got the recording going?
Yep.
All right, for one free inspiration, who wants to recap?
Oh, come
Barnaby
on.
fucked up.
Okay, I was about to say, oh, come on. I know at least 2 of you watched the fucking video. You might wanna
We started the
specify.
session. Well, we talked to a lot of people. And Beale was also a kind of a little shit. And snuck off to apologize and ended up spying on people. Finding out that the current leader of the settlement is working with the Githzerai for various reasons. Mainly to get the fuck out of here. That's my guess. Then Beale apologized to Sally for being a butt by sneaking into their, like, climbing a wall and just tapping on a window. You know, just perfectly normal things to do in the dead of night. But, come morning, we gathered up, discussed the general strategy of, hey, what we're going to be doing, what they want of us. The leader is, like, really emphasizing that, yeah, the mithril is the most important thing. And the party is like, but is it? It really isn't. So we were sent down to the mines with some people, the parents or the fathers of the some of the children that were kidnapped. And we were sent down with them. The little session before last, Beale was given a teddy bear to give to the kid. And we spent a lot of time talking with the Myconids. Isn't that right, Barnaby? For reference, Barnaby almost single-handedly started a war by telling the Myconids, hey, they're preparing for war.
No, the clap was more like, we need the kids or we are going to war.
Yeah.
The phrasing. It came off as a very open threat, which we had to quickly backpedal on. And with an amazing roll, we were able to salvage that situation.
Yeah. You know,
Like if we had kept our weapons, it would be a completely fine situation we could have come. Culling some of them, grab the kids and leave. But no, we were weaponless. And the way was barred by a literal trench if we tried to leave.
Yeah, it was. Hey, good job, Barnaby. You tried your best, you psychopath. But after, talking and getting a few things worked out, we agreed that, yeah, we're gonna figure out what actually happened and the motivations of the surface folk. And we're gonna find out why those miners there went a wee bit insane. Well, Barnaby and Viridis are going to go do that. Where the rest of the party are bringing the children back to their parents.
Pretty sure we're waiting on you to get back before we start moving.
Oh. Well, if that's the case, then you're waiting on us to get back forward. Then if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. That's how we ended the session. With you going to the bathroom.
Okay, is this complete?
Do you believe so?
Take an inspiration point?
Thanks,
Or you
I'll
could
need it.
pass it on to someone else.
No, I'll take it. I'll need it to save Barnaby from causing a war or something.
Shouldn't Barnaby be the one to need it?
Oh, we can throw it
But
out.
fair enough. Alright, so without further ado, then I shall start.
No, we're not gonna live. Not for a little while. They're dead. But yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with the people that are going back to the tunnels, the mines. It's going to be a few hours distance. But I've already rolled, and you don't meet anything super dangerous or anything you can't handle on the way. You make good pace, and you eventually get back to where you were in
Japan.
about 2.5 hours. You are currently at the place where Veritas caused an earthquake to take care of a rockfall. You can go up into the mines or do anything you wish. Pick it up from here.
Don't we want to go to the mines?
We need to get the children out of here first.
Yep, so to the mines.
All right, it's right upstairs. You're at the very entrance of it. The Ash has fallen asleep in someone's arms, probably Anila. Rebecca's been trying to follow you guys as best as she can, but she's really tired, so she's been lagging these last about 30 minutes.
Cleric man, pick her up.
Oh, sorry, who's picking her up?
Beela's telling the cleric man to pick her up.
Oh, okay.
The big Goliath.
Yeah, there's no response to cleric man because they've never thought of themselves as such.
Big Goliath man.
What is it?
Pick up the sleepy child.
They glance to the sleeping child. Then they pick them up and put them in the other arm of the Anillas. We do not deal with children well. They cried last time they saw us.
Okay, Ash is still asleep as he is switched to the other arm of Vanilla. Rebecca gamely tries to climb up the rest of the steep tunnels that rise up to the mines. And you guys move up the incline and eventually emerge back out of the tunnel into the mines. You see when you since you guys all have dark sight, you can see before Jason doesn't have dark sight, right?
And Anila, I need a torch.
Yep. Those that do have a dark sight can see from afar before the other humans notice you. Since there are far more people than those that you have left when you first ventured down into Underdark. They are all armed to the teeth, but they are separated into different caverns that are connected by narrow openings. presumably for safety reasons, they're not like congregating in just one place. You see, like in the closest cavern, which is the one that the Underdark opens into, you see Hakim, Brock, Clara, who hasn't left, the two fathers who are impatiently waiting nervously, 4 fighters who are standing by the 2 entrances to the other tunnels, and 2 other men, both of whom are unarmed and look more like pen pushers rather than miners or warriors. You guys are a bit too far to see like closely into the other rooms that are connected to the main room, but you see at least like 24 warriors in each of the rooms that you can see. If you come any closer, they will notice you. For now, you're the only ones that are noticing them because they have the light on and you guys don't, and you guys have dark sight. So, do you step forward?
Anila, go
Yes.
first.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, who's going first? Zofras?
Anila,
Yeah, I can go first. That way, if they do become hostile, they don't immediately attack Ela and the kids.
Such trust. Alright, so Zarfas appears first out of the darkness. So as you come back, a terse murmur rises. A bit of surprise, a bit of terseness. People like reach for their weapons, but you don't think it's to attack you. They're more like, is this war? Are we going down? Kind of nervousness. And then as Anila and Bill like appears with asleep Ash in one arm and Rebecca taking right along behind, that murmur turns into gasps of delight upon your return. Rebecca squeals in delight and runs up to her father, who picks her up and twirls her around. Ash is still asleep, by the way, and still in Anila's arms. He must have been very, very tired. You see like the murmur spreading from the main room, and there is a brief cheer from the connecting two rooms, and there are people that start to crowd in from the other tunnels to try and see what's going on. Murmuring, hey, the children's back. They brought back the children. But the 4 warriors that were standing guard by each corridor are stopping them, pushing them back, saying that overcrowding in close quarters is too dangerous. They eventually managed to shush and chase the other ones back to their respective caverns. Whoever is leader, you can roll insight, and actually one of them managed to force their way from the other corridor, and you see that it's Sally. Please roll insight. Whoever has the highest.
Oh, Zulfa rolled the 20.
Wow. Okay. So that seems a little too responsible and calm a reaction at such a joyous occasion. You get the feeling that none of them really expected you to bring back the children and so quickly. Of course, it makes perfect sense. It's dangerous to overcrowd, but there might be more to it.
Alright, I'm gonna be straight with you. There's no oars and we've got the children.
There's some sort of monster down there that caused this whole situation, and that mind controlled the miners and made them turn and attack each other, including the Myconans.
At this stage, Sally's face quickly shadows from delight to worry, and then she says, "Shit, What happened to Veritas and Barnaby?
They're with the Myconids right now. We're going to investigate the lake.
She takes a deep breath and you see like a momentary relief cross her face. Like you get the feeling that she thought they were dead and that's why you guys came back alone.
Hmm.
And it's Brock that speaks next, waving the other like guards away a little further, and then he says lowering his voice a bit. So you haven't brought back the stockpile. What do you
No.
at least bring back news of it? That should have taken priority.
There is no stockpile. The mines are
It's-
depleted.
Weapons. You want your weapons back.
So there's dead silence in the room for a few seconds. Please roll inside again. This time with the advantage because you rolled 20 like last time.
Okay, doke. Insight with advantage. Boop. Damn. Low roll this time.
Okay. 13. So more than 10, less than 15. This is what you get. Alright. From the sudden tense atmosphere, you get the feeling that everyone except for the two fathers that hasn't been waved out of the room knows what's going on. Probably that's the reason they were like controlling the crowd, like doing crowd control at the entrance, because they thought like this might come up. And you see, no, you didn't see this letter. All right, that is what you see.
Basically, it looks like they knew we might know the situation. They may have come here to silence us. Is the
You
impression
don't-
I'm getting.
Silence might be going a little too far. Like, if they went to silence you, like they wouldn't have a bunch of witnesses in the other room. The other room is enough for voices not to travel, but if you guys suddenly start fighting, there's no way that's gonna keep hidden. So it's more that they obviously don't want the news of whatever you found out to spread. Not necessarily are they going to kill you to make you keep their secret. Especially since they still need you.
True, in that case.
You could have told us that we were looking for weapons you gave them rather than a stockpile of ore.
So, Hakim says quietly, I understand that you have a lot of questions. Is this the time to demand the full story? Perhaps when we have more time, perhaps when the crisis has passed.
No. Now
The
would
children
be...
are safe, and as of now, outside of our two wayward companions who are still investigating exactly why the miners went insane, that being the monster in the lake. Now is as good a time as any.
Yes, I agree on that matter.
The Myconids intend to maintain their end of your agreement. They always wanted to.
Does Anila say anything? Or Jason?
Jason thinks of saying something, but at this point, it's already out in the open.
Alright.
Bit late.
Okay, so yeah, Kim swears under his breath and then turns to Clara, and then he says, Scrivener Clara, how much time do I have until the deadline for the final shipment? And then Clara says, 9 hours. And then he sighs and says, 9. There's only so much I can ask these adventurers to do on blind faith when they're strangers to me. Can I tell them what's going on? And then Clara pauses, and then she says,
About the Githzerai?
actually, Clara's eyes fly open at that. You get the feeling everyone can see that Clara knows nothing about the Githzerai. So she actually shuts up for a moment, staggered, swallows, realizes that she was about to say something and goes back to it. She says, all right, give me a moment, Director. I send a message to my superior to check. But what I just heard now, that scene needs to get reported. And then she's actually going to step a little bit into the tunnel of the Underdark so you guys can hear her. And she starts casting something, presumably the message spell.
How pissed does the brother look?
Actually, not very. It's almost as if he had to keep the secret, but at this stage, it doesn't matter if it's out.
Okay.
Not this one. All right, so she's actually going to take about 5 minutes. Apparently, it's not going to end with just one message. So if you guys want to say anything more, now's the time. Otherwise, she's going to come back.
You-
Go ahead.
Do you intend to tell your story there? Looking at the brother.
Looks towards the Clara Scrivener, whom he called Scrivener, talking at the entrance tunnel, and says, "I have to get permission first, terms of the contract." And yeah, if you have replied, do it now. All right. If nothing, yeah. So Clara comes back, looks serious, and then she says, "I'm sorry, my hands are tied. The troops are already on the move, so any disclosure at this stage will be treated as a breach of national security. My superior sends word to you as follows, Director." And she's going to carry a specific message. I'm going to write that down on the. And you guys, all of you can roll insight on her.
14.
18.
Whoever's got the highest, Tammy.
It seems, at least at the immediate moment. Oh, we'll see. Beal.
Okay, what did B got?
18.
18. All right, that is above the threshold. So this message was probably meant by the boss for Hakim's ears alone, but Clara purposefully, ignored the unspoken nuance and said this loud enough for you all to hear. You think this is as far as she can go in terms of helping both Hakim out and giving you what information that she can? And also, with 18, she's taking a significant risk by doing so. You don't yet know who she works for, you don't know what kind of job she has right now with these guys, Hakim and others, but she's taking a fair risk.
The Empire's marching on you because you didn't meet your quota, aren't they?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat that part? I didn't hear it.
The Empire is marching on you because you didn't meet your quota, aren't they? Looking at Hakim.
Hakim sighs, and then he says in a low voice, "We've always met our quota. We've met more than our quota. If the quota was all that we were intending to meet, then we could have left everything at my father's level, at the last director's level." But you're right, at least on one front. If we don't need the last shipment, we'll see a second winter pine.
What deal did you make?
Again, glances at Clara. Clara shakes her head. You know, she's gone as far out on a limb for you guys as possible. She can't. To do so more would be directly contravening her orders.
If they're already marching to kill you, why not be open about it?
7 hours. Not yet, Hakim says. If we manage to take it back by the deadline. His eyes looks to you all, one by one, looking at you in the eye. And you see that he's shaken. And, you know, this guy's always been a little too arrogant, a little too proud of his ability to keep his emotions in check. But this time he seems really shaken. And he says, I know that I have not done much to earn your trust so far. I even dare say that I do not deserve it, nor have done anything to deserve it. But I ask you to trust me on this nevertheless, because I have no choice but to ask it of you. I swear to you on my father's name that whatever happens, if we get that shipment back, it will be no harm to you, no harm to the freehold, no harm to even the empire. And that, as soon as the shipment passes safely into the scrivener's hands, I will hide nothing more from you, and you will have all the answers you seek. And his voice is shaking a little at the end of it. He knows that he's actually staying on a knife's edge. And the people in the room are looking at you.
Okay. The Myconids are willing to give back the weapons you lent them. They are. They intend to honor the deal.
Yeah, so they're all listening to you. You could hear a pin drop. There's like that silence in the cavern. Everyone's focusing on you and the others.
But if you wish to continue to have a friendly relationship with them, we'll need help. They'll need help. And you need to earn back their trust. Something that will be very difficult to do. But not impossible.
So Brock says in a low voice, what do you suggest?
The creature identifying what the creature in the lake is to the Myconids, that alone will mean a lot to them. And a promise, an agreement, one that is kept for many, many years to come. That no miner, no person will go out on that lake. And I also suggest reducing the demands of the miners and populace in order to, not have a revolt on your hand after this deal is done. Maybe throw a celebration.
Since you speak of revolt, you realize something that you haven't realized last time because you didn't roll high on insight. You see, Ash's father, like, with his arms folded, and he looks pissed. And he's actually gone, like, over to the entranceway to the other, like, side of the corridor, and he's talking in a low voice to the two people that's blocking it. So he probably didn't hear, like, a bit of, like, what you guys were talking about because he's talking to the guards at the entrance. Right. What about the other guys? Do you guys say anything? Like, add anything? Different opinions?
I feel like we should huddle up and talk about this next step without the prying ears of
Yeah,
everyone
without the
else.
two people that we definitely do not trust.
Because I'm curious to know what the others think, but like, there's also been talks of, and I'm not saying this out loud. I'm saying this out above character. There's also been talks of like getting rid of Sally's brother as the ruler because he's so incompetent. So I'm just curious to know where people are at, and I don't want to start that.
Well, to
Right
be
where
fair, it
we're
wasn't
at.
us that talked about getting rid of him. It was the citizens trying to recruit us to a rebellion.
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm very curious to know, but I don't want to say that right now because I know that would only become problem. Wasn't it the citizens? Yeah. Wasn't it the widow?
So you don't know. What you heard from Ash's father was that he has friends that told him all this stuff and wanted him to find out more evidence. You haven't asked Pride any further into who these friends were. The widow wasn't necessarily a rebel. He says that I've heard talks about these, and honestly, I'm not an apolitical person. I'm not of one way or another.
Yeah.
And
So,
So it
Rebecca's
really
father
wasn't
was,
big movements.
yeah, and Rebecca's father was actually for Hakim, if you remember. So it's like,
Right.
of the three great NPCs you met, it's like one neutral, one pro, one against.
Okay, that makes sense then. All right, then that changes my thought because I was really thinking people were like, "Let's get rid of this dude," and I was like, "Are we doing it right now?" Okay, so I'm good then.
yeah, don't worry about it. We
Yeah, the kobold's gonna execute him in his sleep. It's fine.
yeah, it's fine. he'll die off screen. It's all right.
So,
Dead's gonna take care of that, right, Dead?
Harkeen.
All right.
Yeah, so are you guys actually going to step back a little and converse among yourselves, or are you going to like do this now?
Yeah, can we step back and converse amongst ourselves?
Yeah, because obviously if you're saying we need to discuss before we decide on something, give us some privacy, and then you step back into the Underdark, no one's gonna stop you.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, what is everyone in the mindset of? Because I'm feeling like, yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
I don't think Harkeen is necessarily the worst leader of these people.
No.
But he needs to be more honest, and he needs to not make these backroom deals. He needs to learn from his mistakes. James, stop messaging me. You're throwing me off my game.
I did not. Stop messaging, as the silence has proved.
But what do we do about this encroaching army?
I honestly don't think we should do anything.
We meet the deal. We meet the quota. That's how we stop that.
Well-
Is we get the adamantine weapons from the Myconids.
The question here is, if we do not get the weapons, the army's going to be here and upon us. And we are going to have to
Okay.
either
Fight our way
escape
out.
or fight our way from the army.
And
Is effectively, do we want to stay here and effectively put ourselves in a war effort, or just get our companions back?
you have to consider that if we don't help them, we don't get those weapons back, the entire settlement will be destroyed.
It's not that unusual. And if they know the threat is coming, they should be leaving. Not leaving their last hours and praying for a miracle.
Alright, I'm going to ask, at that comment, I'm going to ask you guys to all roll insight, difficulty 15. If anyone passes that, please tell me.
Yeah, like the last few hours, if there's really an army coming, that's not a
I
smart time
passed
to do
with
it.
a 21.
Oh,
And I got 22.
you get, those who got over 20, you get the feeling that this is exactly what Hakim was talking to the Kisarai about. If this fails, it was like he was trying to get at least the children and the woman to safety.
Okay.
And because the Kisarai have the Astra ships. And perhaps there's something more to it, since the Kisarai, from what you remember, also said, since you're like pulling the schedule like closer out of time and we're not prepared yet, there's only so much that we could take. The blood of the rest is on your hands, is what he said. So apparently this isn't the original deal that he made with the Kisarai. Just the latest iteration. And now that Zolfar has mentioned the part about everyone waiting for a last minute like Hail Mary, you guys realize what the conversation was all about.
Well, that's why he was talking to the Gith. It was to ensure that some survived. Makes sense?
It does, but it still seems foolish to be waiting till the moment. We can't change the past that's already. We just need to focus on the present. So what do we want to do? Are we going to put ourselves at risk of joining the war effort? Because I doubt we're going to be joining the Githzerai if we do fail to get the weapon.
Yes.
We are a competent bunch, and I do believe
The
we could do
Myconids
it.
were very... When we first talked to them,
Alert.
it's
Tense.
not like they were... Yes, they were alert and tense, but it's not like they weren't. One of their first assumptions was that we were going to take those weapons back. That's the reason of us being there.
They didn't even speak of the weapons. They assumed the children. It was only until we brought them up that they thought we wanted them more than the children.
Well, yes, there is that.
And they haven't given back the weapons because they believe they'll be used in war against them.
Yes. That's what they believe, and it's a fair belief, but if we just tell them and allow them to, see what we saw, hear what we heard, then Well,
There's
the Myconids are a lot more reasonable than the colonists.
they seem to
Freehold.
have a bit of a
Freehold.
they seem to have a bit of a hive mind, so multiple individuals to think on and to view things.
Yes.
Understandable why they would have that more sense of we over the I situation that Freehold has. But at the same process, if we, do you believe we can do it, basically? Are you willing to put yourself at risk of fighting in a war if you fail? That's the only question I really have here. Because if it does fail, we go to war. That's the only thing we can.
You're not wrong. That if we fail to get those weapons, then the army will march, and the freeholds will have to be evacuated as well as it can.
From what I understood from what they said, the army is already marching. We're just trying
The
to
DM
grab them.
clarified in the Discord that they have not.
Oh, I
Yeah,
haven't looked at
so
that.
sorry. Yeah, sorry, let me
Apologies.
clarify again. So it's going to march under condition that the deadline is not met. Deadline is 7 hours from now, as Clara clarified.
Okay, so
Which is
probably
why they're this desperate.
my understanding was it was already marching. It'd be 7 hours before they got it, which is why I was like, why did you wait until last minute when the army is about to reach here to tell
Oh,
us?
I see. Yeah, that'd be totally stupid. No, that wasn't it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's my understanding of the situation. I didn't check the Discord. Apologies.
So we need to get down there right now. We need to get those weapons. We need to get them back up here because it's going to take just about 7 hours to do this. Yes?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
not necessarily about
Um,
7 hours, but like 4 or
they-
5, which
They
is
might.
still a lot closer.
They also
Yes.
might demand that we go and investigate the pool, as we already gave our word that which could
Yes.
delay time further.
Okay. Yes. So we need to get moving quickly. All right. So, after our, huddle break,
Okay.
we'll look to them and say we're going down there. We're going. Well, yeah. I'll let Bill speak. Bill's been doing a good job. I'm sorry. I'll lean
So,
down and just be like, Bill, do you want me to give you like a speaking stone or something? Like, do I have a way to amplify your voice? Whatever. Do your thing.
So everyone is so silent and hanging on your every word that you don't need to amplify your words. Everyone is listening to you.
We have little doubt that the Myconids would not give the weapons. They might have conditions and demands. But it will not be war. There should be no blood shed today. But we have to go quickly in order to meet your deadline. Any assistance in potions or anything like that will be appreciated to expedite this process.
All right. Let me see what they brought. Sorry, let me roll for a second. Yeah, so the problem is the most of the supplies they got, like they've already packed up and ready to go like down into the mines. So they don't really have much in hand. I rolled like a 2 out of 10. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of medium potions. And if any of you have worse armor than is standard, you guys can change your armor. That includes you, Jason. I know you have leather. And
You'll
not that
grab a
Barnaby
set
told,
of,
yeah, and not that Barnaby told anyone. You guys still have the score of Revivify from Clara.
Beal is gonna grab a set of studded leather for Viridis.
Okay.
I'll take studded leather as well.
Oh, apparently medium armor if I can. So, do they have... I gotta look at armor. I don't really use medium armor. That's not what I do. I only use no armor or heavy armor.
This is the heaviest armor that they can equip Jason with.
Half plate. They would not have full plate because this is like they're not riding horses. This is inside the mine.
Yeah.
Noted.
Can I get a set of half plate for Viridis?
Can he wear half plates?
Yes,
I
I am
don't-
a Valor Bard.
Yeah. they're-
Also, you guys need 2 half plates. Let me just do like see if
no,
they have something in
Bill-
their side.
Bill can't wear armor.
Make it free, because I
Bill
could
can.
use some as well.
It's for Viridis. Yeah.
So they do have like extra armor lying around, but only one that like fits you, like Veritas. And actually, Hakim's and Jason's like pretty much the same build, so he's going to take off his half armor and give it to you, Jason.
Ah, okay. So don't get scratched. Got it.
Or get it scratched because he deserves it.
He doesn't smile at the joke, which just shows how tense he is. And now he's just wearing a robe, and then he looks. Yep, and then he pauses, and you actually see him talking to Brock about timelines, and you get the feeling that he also knows the location of the lake. And he's not sure how much you're going to take at the lake. So if you guys go down there and to the Myconid colony and then to the lake and then come back to the Myconid colony and then come back to the mines, it's going to be too late. Is what you think is he's saying to Brock. So about 2 or 3
Real-
minutes later. Sorry?
Just kind of interrupting their conversation.
Okay.
Well, tell the Myconids that you need the weapons as soon as possible due to an incoming threat. Which is the case. And that we will continue onward to the lake whilst they could send a small group up with the weapons to deliver them to a point of their choosing.
He pauses, and then Hakim says, "Do you believe that such an persuasion would be possible when we are offering them no security of any kind?"
She's just going to look at Hakeem. I have a suggestion.
Yep, looks at him. Looks at you.
Offer yourself as a pseudo hostage. They know you're the leader. If you go down there as you are in your robes and explain to them the direness of the situation, along with us, as we continue onto the lake to fulfill the deal while you stay as a hostage, they may be more interested in honoring their end of the deal, as you are doing your best to honor yours.
So, at that suggestion, everyone in the room starts speaking, but I'm going to give the PCs a chance to respond first, and then I'm going to tell you what happens. So, yeah, let me know if you guys disagree or agree or whatever.
So, Fred, do you say anything?
No, I'm waiting.
Neela will just state that there is a lot that can be done in sake of good faith and showing some might open more, but we need to be going. We're gonna have to, they're right, we're gonna be cutting this close, so we're gonna have to prove to these myconids that there's trust to be built with someone making a what do you call it, the parlay with the weapons, whatever. But if we're trying to stop 2 wars from happening at the same time, we got to get going.
Time is of the essence.
Okay, so Jason, what do you say?
I think he's just too dumbfounded at the moment. Even the player is a bit dumbfounded at that.
All right. I mean, Anila makes a very good point. Like, literally minutes is of the essence. So Hakim actually doesn't hesitate. It's like about 10-20 seconds. You see Brock raising his voice, about to, tell Hakim what a dumb idea this is. Hakim just takes the harness off his shoulder, throws down his greatsword, says, "All right, let's go get going." And then Brock actually says, "I'm coming with you," and drops the axe. So he's still here wearing his battle armor though. All right.
Awesome. But they're coming with us?
Yep.
Great. We'll make this work. A little improvisation, but we'll make this work.
Okay, all right. I kept, you guys never fail to surprise me. Anyway. I'm going to switch back to the people at the colony for a moment who have completely no idea what's going on. All right. Barnaby, Veritas, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue the conversation we've been having in whispers out loud. Come on, Barnaby. Surely you have some kind of grand hunt that you've done that would make for an excellent story. A bear, I don't know, a mammoth, something. Evil
Mammoths are hard to
persons.
come by.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen
Man.
you slay a few of those fucking bandits. Surely you've done that before.
I try to avoid bandits when I can. there's no real point in picking a fight with them. And when you're trying to eat, well, you can't exactly eat people. I mean, I guess you could, but I certainly you won't.
Yeah, that does sound kind of grotesque. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I could... Predator on the wing. The silent song he sings. I can come up with something.
Oh, cool. Well, there's always time for the future. I mean, who knows what we're going to find? What I might hunt.
Fair enough. Oh,
The little myconid boy that still hasn't gone away and is circling you guys says, I like black angel with like wings or something. Angels are cool.
angels are pretty interesting. Though, I don't think I've seen any. Then again, he just kind of
If you go
picks at his horns.
if you go deep down, my papa said, there like you can see drawings of them, lots and lots and lots of them, and they're kind of ugly, and they're kind of furry, but they have wings.
Okay. Just Veritas is about to say words and then just. Do you know what a harpy is?
No, she just shakes her head.
Veritas' eyes like just momentarily cross. Barnaby, people getting things sung about what they want to change the most. Over a lake, furry angel winged people. Like harpies, right? Right?
Was it harpies? So I wasn't. Is that what's going on at the lake?
Could be. I mean, that sounds like harpies. Not of sirens. Both of them are bad.
What if it's something like devils?
Oh, then I should just be fine, I suppose. At least I could talk to them. Oh dear. You know, this is getting worse every second.
But wait, you said deep. How deep is the lake? Well, if the lake is deep, we've got quite a travel ahead. But if it's close, then it's not deep. So maybe something else.
Maybe. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't really have much to think about. Oh, right, I need to go talk to the Myconid people real quick to relay the information that we have basically solved their problem with what has happened. Because I sent Bill up there with information to tell the people that there was a monster that brainwashed their people. But I don't think that I remembered to tell the Myconid, so we should probably do that first.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a monster in the lake.
Not necessarily a monster, but they said that they saw something swimming in the lake, and that there was a desire and some enchantment magic that was going on that drew them into the lake to fix their past regrets, I think. It was a... Yeah, the children gave me a lot of information. It's almost
I
like
must
the
not have been
Myconids-
paying attention.
That, and I don't think the Myconids were either. I don't think they asked the children what happened. That, if they did, they didn't listen.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go with you.
I appreciate the company. Right, you know, it really doesn't feel right not having Bill here.
Well, you should have had someone else stay behind then.
But then who would have kept you company? I guess I could have stuck you with Jason again. That's been pretty funny. How's he been? He gets up to get out the hut.
Well, I don't know. I think he seems strangely safe with me.
That's good. It's always good to have someone you feel safe with. I will open the door for Barnaby.
And Barnaby just kind of waddles out.
Okay, so So the bard, Veritas, is going to go back to the Sovereign and relate what he has, his hypothesis. And Barnaby, are you going to do anything? You're the one that has the map to this place. No one has his eyes on you. Their eyes on you right now.
Definitely I don't. Passive perception of 10, or is it 9? Hold on, let me look. 11. Oh, Veritas is doing better than I thought he was. If you want to sneak off, now's your chance.
No, Barnaby will stick with Veritas.
Aw, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Besides, he doesn't have his weapons, so.
Yeah. Don't you
Yeah.
know you never split the party? Crying as we continue to split the party. Right. I'm gonna go back to the Sovereign and relay the information. Though, with what I've understood, it's a little bit more than a hypothesis, but not much more.
But we can find out one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're on a timetable or anything.
Oh, true. We can take all the time in the world.
I know.
I mean, we got the kids back.
You know, honestly, as soon as Bill gets down here, we can take a nap, and then we can be on our way tomorrow to go solve this issue, and then we can bring the stuff up the next day. It'll be great.
Yes. Oh, and maybe there's like an underdark bear I can kill, and then you can have your little song.
That would be amazing. They say as they walk back to the Sovereign, and I
Yep.
don't want
Oh,
to just skip through the part where I relinquish the information. I can roleplay it if you want, but honestly, I'm just gonna.
no,
Yeah.
all right. So, yep. So you convey the information. The Sovereign actually he seems to be deep in doubt. It's like he also has some hypotheses that match some of what you said, or like, and then he says, that lake has been off limits to us for quite some years. We've always thought there was something sinister about it. We've had disappearances. I wish that I had not permitted the miners to venture past the lake despite the veins that lay at the end of it. If you could find out what lies at the lake and beyond, where the expedition's destination was, then it would be something that we as a colony would be indebted to you for.
Of course, I'd be more than happy to help with that. Though with tensions being as tense as they are, we may need you to work with us to help ease things over with the surface dwellers, if you can. I don't know the situation. I don't know what's going on, but we sent ours up there with the children, and we're waiting for them to get back. And I don't know how long that's going to take, but they should have more news when they get here, I'm sure.
And
And I humbly request that you at least be open-minded to what they say.
you think you've gotten through somewhat, but it's also true that the Myconid Sovereign has already given up a fair bit.
That's
Given up the children at no cost whatsoever, said, there's a chance your hypothesis is right. I will keep an open mind. But he would not promise any more than that, and especially nothing related to the cash.
He just nods. He's like, that is perfectly fine. We should have all the time in the world for that anyways, and once we get down there and prove it right, and or figure out what's actually going on, that should be enough to ease things over completely, correct?
We will see what the truth is and whether the surface dweller had anything to do with it or not.
Just a nod. Right, well then, I guess that, since that's that, I'll just go back to waiting for my compatriots. We might need a guide to this lake, though. At least someone to get us there.
The sovereign hesitates. He says, "Those that go to the lake do not return often. I hesitate to lose more of my colony. I shall... Are there not among you men, the surface dweller, that know of this place? No, I am given..." He stops and he says, "I will see what I can do." And then he actually leaves, perhaps to go communicate like telepathically with others to see if there's any volunteers. And switching back to the others. Yeah, so you guys... Okay, so you guys are coming back through the same like open hallway. You have Brock, you have Hakim. I'm going to roll something to see if she... Okay. So as you're just about to go like down like the Underdark, like Clara actually pipes up in a rare like a display of bravery that is really unlike her. Like you remember like when you first saw her, like you got the impression that she's never had any kind of danger in her life. She's a mage, but she's always been like pen pushing, nothing else. She says, if there's like not enough time for you guys to come back, maybe if it takes time for you guys to convince the Myconist that I need to come with you guys. And then he actually looks scared again, looks at you, Anila, who seems to be strong and also kind of nice, and says, "You're going to protect me if something attacks me, right?"
Say no.
Oh, sorry, what was it?
I don't even know if they're here. They might not be here.
Who was it?
Oh, okay.
Nameless.
Nameless, you're muted. You're speaking.
They might be talking to the
They
kid.
might still, yeah. They might still be taking care of the kid.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So, already, Bill, do you answer then if like Anila is not here?
I promise I'll try and kill whatever tries to kill you first.
But I don't like blood. She mutters and then she nods. She rolled like 8 on the courage roll, so you know she's gonna follow along. So I'm going to skip this.
I completely understand you and not enjoying blood, but
It's really
in some
sticky.
situations you
That's
have to handle, especially during rituals.
Bill just looks at Zolfra like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah, like she's also looking at you like, why would the blood be needed at magical rituals? And then she shudders, like realizing that she doesn't want to know. And I'm actually going to skip forward to all of you guys meeting at the Myconid colony because I really want to end this session today. And that's increasingly seeming like a remote possibility. Okay.
Well, you'll give us a chance to roleplay, we roleplay.
Right. So you guys are all approaching all at once, or are you guys leaving the 2 humans and 1 dwarf behind a little bit while you guys approach the Myconid colony first to warn the Myconids?
If we leave them
Because
behind,
you're-
we're gonna get eaten by something. No, no.
Well, just like immediate. Not like, immediately with us side by side, but we'll just say that our Goliath Druid, who's currently muted, is guarding them until we give the signal to approach.
Alright. So, Zofra and Bill and Jason, you guys approach first. And past the place where you knew the treant is guarding, but the treant doesn't appear because he knows you guys. And you guys managed to come to the periphery of the colony where you see the Myconid. What do you do?
Hello.
Okay, a friendly greeting. If you want to be talked to the sovereign, you are not led to him in person, not this time. But there will be a sparkle of spores, and another Myconid is going to speak through, like the king is going to speak through that Myconid.
Okay.
And then he looks at, and then sovereign says, "And where's one of your number?"
The sovereigns of the surface settlement have agreed to be a temporary hostage as a sign of trust and allow them to explain the full situation to you.
Yeah. So Veritas and Barnaby, you like hear the commotion since like Bill said hello really loudly, and you walk in right as like Bill is saying this to the Myconid like sovereign.
How did you get him to grow a pair?
He's
Call
gonna
them a
die if he
bitch.
doesn't.
That too.
Oh. Well, I mean, hey, listen, we're teaching the young leader how to lead, and the best way to do that is to get him to grow a pair and man up to the problems that may or may not be his fault.
He's growing a pair. Oh, he hit puberty.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. Right. Well, in that case, like, yeah, that solves a lot of the problems, but why are they willing to go to such lengths, and what do you mean they're gonna die?
If they
We can
don't meet the
inform you.
quota, the Empire is going to march on them and destroy the surface settlement.
Correct.
Shit, that's bad.
And they
Yeah, I
require
remember
mithril weapons in order to avoid that.
I would rather not be here in the middle of a war.
Yes, Zolfar, this time sensitive.
Oh,
and
how
we
sensitive?
want it
How
in this
time
session.
sensitive?
It's
Oh,
about
you
4
know.
hours at this point.
Give or take.
Oh fuck!
Hence why the sovereigns of the surface settlements have come down here to act as hostages. You have their leaders, they need the adamantine weapons, or else they will all die. Looking at the sparkly boy.
Oh, well, you all certainly took your time then.
Yeah, just look. We're looking at the the sovereign speaker. Well,
Yeah.
you heard them. They have quite the offer and bargain for those weapons now.
Yeah, they're sacrificing their lives for it. It's quite a grand gesture.
They're not sacrificing their lives, they're trying to...
Uh,
they're
but-
not to sacrifice Zolfra, they're...
I know it was a jest.
You can't joke
You
with
can't
these people.
jest in this situation.
Oh dear Zolfra. I mean, I get it. I thought it was funny, but not the time, not the people. Wrong crowd.
Because to these people, never mind. We're on a time limit anyway, so
Yeah.
the faster we handle this, the better.
Alright then. Would you let them in? I look at the person speaking for the sovereign.
So as you guys were speaking, so the spores were like floating up to the air in a sparkle of green and blue and yellow. This like happened whenever you guys were like, raising something during your last negotiation where like a sizable number of the Myconids either disagreed or were arguing about. So like he seems to be holding concert with a group of other Myconids telepathically, the content of which you're not involved in. And then, after a moment, from the shadows, the tree and slowly, raises itself. And then the Myconid sovereign says, if they come without weapons and without armor, we will bring them in. but unlike you, they will not be as honored guests. They will be as captives until all is explained and resolved. Is this, and only if they agree to these terms and demands would we let them into our colony after all that has happened, is what the sovereign says.
They are unarmed. One has yet to take off his armor, but I will explain the situation, and I'm sure he will.
Can't wait for Bill to go over to that gentleman, poke him in the chest, and just say strip.
Actually, the triumph is stomping in the direction that you indicated as you guys are speaking. So if Bill wants to come back, he probably wants to be fast.
Yeah, Beal is gonna skedaddle.
Okay. Yeah, if he's running, probably faster than the Trian, which is walking. So you managed to get back to Anila and others. Do you explain the terms?
Yep.
You think Brock is really, really, really against the idea.
Brock, you're the one that volunteered to come down here. You have to agree with it, or else you're just gonna get turned into a puddle.
Or mulch, either way.
He says, like, in a low voice, growly voice, not without turning a few of them into puddle. But then Hakim just, like, waves him down and says, we are already here, there's no time. If they kill us, so be it. At least we have some left to bring the news back to the outside world. And it looks at you guys. You will, wouldn't you? Make sure that the deal is upheld if we all do not survive this place.
I doubt they'll kill you if you are honest.
Yes.
Then he nods at the yes. Then so be it. And yeah, and Brock will take off his armor. It clanks one by one because he's like wearing really heavy armor. And they will follow the Treants. And you guys will, like, eventually one of the older Myconids will come to you, like really aged Myconid. You can see like white, like fungi, like the fungi has turned white at the top. It's like a very ancient like mushroom, and he says, I will lead you to the lake. It's not like I have much life left to lose after. And then he laughs a little. You think this was a kind of a joke, macabre joke on his part.
Thank you. Just turning to the software. Will you release the adamantium weapons? It's a matter of time and urgency.
So are you guys like trying to persuade the sovereign to release the weapons now?
Yes.
As soon as possible.
As,
It's gonna be really, really hard.
I mean, if you
So
want to
I'm
speak-
going to ask you to roll a persuasion check, but don't count on it. He's already given up like a lot of ground.
Oh, yeah.
All right. In that case,
Buff me.
that's absolutely. Just a pat on the back. Just, Bill, you've already gotten us through so much. Now's the time to show them what you're made of. And you will get a bardic inspiration. I would also add a character just like to poke Anila, like, hey, do enhanceability.
Enhanceability? Do I have enhanceability?
I will slap you with enhanceability.
Then do guidance.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm
to,
the one with enhanceability and guide.
Both of you are.
I guess
So-
we're the buffing sibling.
So am I. Look, man, I built a character that's only good at buffing people, but I didn't take enhanceability because I
You know
needed some
what?
damage. What you got?
Person, this mic.
You're gonna give me Eagle Splendor.
Sure, if that's the one you want.
Just the charisma check, so yeah.
Yep, you have Eagle Splendor. I'll pull it out a feather and tuck it behind your ear while giving a little prayer.
So I have advantage, a d6, and a d4.
Yep.
Yep.
And the belief and faith in all your friends. Roll a d6
Okay.
or that d4. That is a total of 33. Motherfucking
What the?
persuasion. Yeah. Never doubt the power of friendship, motherfucker.
What the hell? Really?
Or the ability
Okay.
of magic.
Like really, it's over 30 because the difficulty was 30.
Yeah, 33.
Wow.
24 plus 5 plus 4.
But isn't that like? Oh, you guys have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they cast an enhanced ability.
Eagle Splendor.
Eagle Splendor, which gives me advantage on charisma checks.
I'll send you the information.
Yeah. Hey, Sally. Good old Chris. Did I ever tell you that I'm playing a character that may or may not be good at making other people better, as are the other characters.
Yeah, there's 3 buffers in this game. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you guys thought that you were not going to convince him. Like so difficult was this and so harsh, like so immense the trust you're asking him to put in you guys by releasing all the children and then the catch. But there's something about you, and part of it is your magic, but it is much more, much beyond it. It's that by like being in this the area of the spores, not only do the Myconid you understand the Myconids a little better, they have come to understand a little of what you are, who you are, and they have decided that you could be trusted. So a long silence continues. It's almost so long, it's a few minutes even, which is like a lifetime, like for a silence to happen during a conversation. And you think that you might not have convinced him, and then he says slowly, he's going to ask a single question. You said that there is a deadline he is under. What is the hour of the deadline?
We'll give them the time that, we were told.
Right? So you guys have spent like 2 hours coming back down, so there you guys have 5 hours now. He says with the like susurrating sigh, much like leaves like swaying in the wind, he says, if you do not come back by the time of an hour before the deadline is made, then I will release the cash. But once the freehold is saved and they have done their duty, the surfacers have done their duty, then I make no promises as to what happens after unless you come back, is what he says. So he's basically saying yes.
Look to Harkeen and the other dude. Is that okay with you two?
So actually Hakim takes a deep breath. On one hand, the Myconid Sovereign pretty much said, yeah, I'm going to release the cash, but I'm going to kill all of you as soon as you send it. But on the other hand, the freehold is going to be saved. So he takes a deep breath, and then he looks at you, and you've, for the first time, you've seen him grateful. And he says, slowly and quietly, I thank you. That is more than what I could have expected or asked of you.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
And then he says one more thing. if none of us make it back, and you eventually do after the time limit has passed, please tell Sally that she is of House Jeffries and the settlement is her responsibility now. That is what he says. And that is the end of what he says.
I pat Bill on the head. You are just such the coolest. So proud of you.
She sticks a tongue out at you.
I then look at Hakeem, who's... See, does this look like the face of a man who's been a little humbled?
More than that, I think it's humbled. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
I just walk over and put a hand on his shoulder and just goes, so, when I make it back up here and you get released, he hands him a book. You can read, right?
He looks at the book. Which language is this in?
It's in common.
Yeah, he can. But what's the book about?
It is the book on leadership.
Okay.
It just goes,
What's it about?
it is literally a book on how to be a leader. It's the book that the GM gave me that my character's been
A
reading.
prince?
Uh-huh. And just goes, you need to read up on what it's like to be an actual leader. And you've got a couple of hours, we've got a couple of hours. I want the book back because I'm not done with it. But we're gonna make a good leader out of you one way or another.
So you guys leaving him holding the book, looking at it with that inexplicable expression, and you guys head to the lake.
I'm still a bard, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I gotta be
He's gonna get
sassy.
eat. He's gonna be eaten.
You know,
by
I'm going to
something
give you an
like that.
inspiration for this just because I have to. If you already have inspiration, you can give it to someone else.
I don't, I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Alright, moving on. Give me just a second. Like, give me like 1 minute to recover from like everything that just happened.
I'm sorry, I missed that one more time.
Just
I,
need a breather.
Yeah, perfect, good. I'm glad
because
that my
like you
joke
guys
worked.
are. Yeah, because I have to rewrite a lot of stuff. Give me just a second, like 60 seconds. Oh.
Hold on, wait a minute. Really, GM? Really they're dead?
That is the book you have, yes.
Really? A political treatise written by an Italian diplomat? So I gave him a book on political theory and how to be better about taking care of his fucking men.
So basically, you're making him more of a tyrant politically wise.
Actually, no.
Congratulations.
This is actually not that. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it ain't the worst. When I get back, I'll tell him that everything he's read is the wrong option. Because that just like now you read what in the book, right? Do none of that.
I'm sure Haki's like leafing through the book right now as you guys are traveling to the lake and thinking, but I already do most of this.
Yeah, the answer is just like, now you know what you've been doing wrong. This book got that guy killed. By his people. Like they assassinated him in his sleep with daggers. It was not quick.
I only regret that I don't have a second inspiration to give you, but we will get that.
It's fine, it's fine, don't worry about it. I'll use it before we get back so I can get the second.
All right, so the old, very ancient Myconid leads you through winding dark tunnels to the lake that you saw in the vision that the Myconid submarine conveyed to you. Right now, there's like no boats or people on that lake, unlike in the vision. It is calm when you reach it, and it is so very blue, and it has an eerie glow about it, and mists are rising from it even though it doesn't look hot. You guys come nearby, and I am going to ask you to roll perception, whoever has the highest perception.
+5 on Jason.
My
Perception 6 here.
bet is it's
Okay.
Barnaby with that 7.
No,
Yeah.
my perception is 5. My survival is 7.
Oh,
Right.
I've. Does anyone have a better
Yeah.
6 then?
I don't have a good perception.
No.
Highest I think is 6.
Yeah, I got a passive 11, my guy. Do what you gotta do.
Okay, do I have to roll advantage or just standard? I won't give myself guidance for this, but just asking. Do I get advantage, DM?
I can't assist you. Somebody else can.
Okay.
Why do you think you get advantage? Is there a reason? Please tell me.
Yeah, actually, there's an action called the assist action, which a player can help another player in a skill, giving them advantage on that skill check.
Who's helping you?
It would have to either be Barnaby or Anila, as they are the only two trained in it.
Barnaby can help.
Yeah, Barnaby can help because he has dark side. So, all right, advantage then.
Okay. That's a. I have my D4 from guidance as well, so that's a 28. Damn, what's up there?
Okay, very good time to have advantage. All right. So, this lake. You pass the DC, so you see the edges of the lake freezing. In a little frost, snowflakes rise to the top of the water. You see like cracks that burn to the very edges. And from deep under the water comes billowing shapes that take on a life of their own. They do not look like mist anymore. They are shrouded in an unearthly glow, and there is a sudden, very cold spell in the air. The shapes rise from the waters and hover about it, taking on the shapes of men, reaching out to you, muttering, sobbing, cursing. You guys are not surprised because you passed the perception roll, but you need to roll an Arcana roll, please.
Arcana? I thought this is an initiative roll.
Only Barnaby and and Zofar can roll it because they're the ones that succeeded on the perception roll.
What is your Arcana, Barnaby?
Mine is 0.
Oh shit, we've both got 0. Cross our fingers and pray then.
Both of you can roll independently.
Yep.
Barnaby, you have not. Oh.
Yep, and guidance 20. Just.
Okay. Just wow. All right.
That's with a 0.
So-
That's just luck there. Like.
Zofra. So you would have gotten one if you got like over 15 and one if you got over 20. You reached 20. So you recognize them as specters. But also, you are attuned to magic enough, despite you having no proficiency in arcane magic whatsoever, that there's something off about them. Usually specters are tethered like bones and like ghostly shapes of former selves, like almost indistinguishable from any other ghost in the area, but these seem to have take on much more of what they apparently were like when they were living. Their clothes are mostly intact and not in tatters. And one of them is really not a weapon, but what seems like a mining pick. And there are 3 of them. Let me get the picture.
Something ain't right with this. Spectres shouldn't be as complete as they are, nor carrying things with them. Definitely something wrong with these waters.
Alright, so you see these 3 ones. And you guys are going to roll initiative.
Okie dokie. Just, you might want to pop the initiative tracker up. And if you have a
Um,
do you have a map?
I don't know how to do that. Help me.
Oh, you got
Do you
it.
have it?
That's
You
on
got
my
it pulled
side.
up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Me and Barnaby apparently ready to go.
Yeah, the moment you heard me say Spectres, it's like, oh, it's go time.
So how would I roll? Like, sorry, I'm completely new to D&D 5.2,
that is
5 edition, 5th edition.
that's perfectly fine.
So,
Do you have a character sheet for them?
I do have the stat block for the specters.
Okay, so there should be a button on the stat block that says initiative. There's just this little D20 looking dice right next to the initiative. If you click that D20, it'll roll it for you.
Oh,
I
so
could-
it has to be like in the roll 20?
It does.
yeah, if you don't have the access to that, let
You
me
could just
get
roll
that.
a die and then add their dexterity.
Oh, okay. I do that. I try to do this manually.
Okay, if you're trying to do this manually, you have to roll a d20 and add their dexterity to it.
Okay. There's 2 others. I'm going to roll 2 more.
Just so we have it nice and neat. Do you want me to add to the initiative order?
Yep.
You might have to get just a stand-in token there, GM, if she doesn't have tokens.
Or I can just, grab the stat block out of the.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you
Okay,
could.
never mind. That's breaking.
Oh,
That will my APIs break.
well, yeah, just grab a standalone token for right now.
No, I always put this in because it never likes to work. What I'm doing. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Make my life. Nope, never mind. API is breaking. I'll fix it in a second. And 5. Okay. Turn. Sort. Descending. Don't have anything I need to hide, right?
Nope.
Never mind, I do. Send that to the archive. I can't. I cannot. Never mind. There's no report side and all set. Take her away.
Okay.
just me, or is Chris breaking up for everybody? Oh dear.
Yeah. You good there?
Yeah, no, I have no idea what happened.
Well, Barnaby is going to be staying
Still recording?
away from them. Now, are you recording?
I am.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Not streaming.
Yeah, I made sure that it's not streaming. Me and you throw hands if you keep this up.
Barnaby's gonna fly like 30 feet up if he can, and 10 feet back, because he's gonna want to keep distance from them. And he's going. Wait, how far away are we from them, like feet wise?
Enough that if you guys run up to them using your turn full move, you are going to be able to get them melee distance, but not like close enough that they're like going to attack you right away.
Okay. So the closest one, I'm gonna mark with a hunter's mark, and then I'm gonna shoot with my bow.
What does Hunter's Mark do?
Hunter's mark. I use my bonus action to here. I'll put it in the thing as well. No. I choose a creature within a range, and I mark as a quarry. Until the spell ends, I deal an extra d6 damage whenever I hit it with a weapon attack.
Alright.
And if it drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, I can use a bonus action to put it on another creature.
Okay, so which one are you attacking?
I'm going to be targeting the closest one to the group.
So black, blue, green, they're pretty much like same distance.
No. I'll mark green.
Okay.
Longbows. Did a 17 hit it? Sorry, I already made that attack.
It's against the armor class, right? 17 hits.
17 hits?
This is piercing?
Yes.
What does damage resistance do?
Takes half damage.
Okay.
So it did a total of 13 damage.
So this would be 7 damage, like half the plus like 1.
No, halved, rounded down, so that would be 6 damage. Quick question there, for those of you who do raw versus intended, does Hunter's Mark overcome non-magic, because Hunter's Mark is a spell?
The damage from Hunter Mark, it would be necrotic.
It's
Nope.
not
What?
necrotic, it's just weapon damage.
I will.
Yeah.
But doesn't overcome magic resistance because it is a magic spell.
I'm gonna step in here real quick. In this case, no, it just adds to the damage that was caused.
Okay. So yeah, no, just
That's
6
high
damage.
rolling on it, so.
Okay.
Right, and then with my second attack, that is unfortunate. It's a natural 1, so that misses.
Alright, yeah, that misses.
And that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Next is Veritas.
Veritas, you guys gave him the armor, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
Did I get the ability to put that on before this fight? Because
Yeah, obviously you guys have time.
I just wanted to make sure. Veritas actually does something a little uncharacteristic, as he pulls out a shield and a axe made out of ice and charges the one Barnaby shot. And will make an attack. does a 14 hit?
Towards
Uh,
green.
green, same one he hit.
Okay. You did 14.
14 to hit.
Oh, 14 hits it.
Okay. This will be only 3. That's not right.
It's magic.
Yeah. It is magic, but I rolled really poorly. 3 slashing, but it's magical slashing, so it ignores resistance. I
Okay.
then would like to expend a charge and deal an additional 7 cold damage. I think it resists cold. I don't know. I haven't seen the Spectre stat sheet in forever.
Yep, it resists cold.
Then
3.
so a total of 6 damage.
Okay. Alright, it is bloody.
And then just back, say back towards. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Jason. Jason, buddy, counting on you. Do your best, and you get a Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Alright, it is Spectre 2, which is actually the green one. Alright. This one actually murmurs something as it raises its minus pick and charges at you. Says, but in his gaze is fixed straight towards something that not quite towards you, but towards something that apparently he only can see and none of you. And he said, I should have asked you to marry me. That violent drunkard didn't treat you right. And then he's going to attack. I'm gonna say he's gonna attack Veritas.
Fair enough.
Okay, let me see. It's going to be life drain.
Yeah.
Melee spell attack. So I just roll and do. Let me roll.
Let's see if you can hit me, because Veritas is a lot less vulnerable. Yeah, that still hits.
Yeah,
By
it
1
hits.
point. Yeah, that hits.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, half plate and a shield. My AC is 19 currently.
Yep.
Do your damage.
Oh, okay. Totally shouldn't have given you the half plate.
No, it's really not that bad. AC is not something to avoid in this game. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah, I was kidding. Alright, it's going to be 3d6 necrotic damage, and you guys are going to need to roll like Constitution saving roll.
I'll
DC
roll
10.
DC 10. See what happens. I'm gonna use an inspiration to reroll that.
Yep.
Put him 1 to save, so I take 10 damage. Yeesh.
Okay.
Yeah, that instantly half helped me.
Alright, you two are bloody.
Very bloody. Me and it just
Yeah.
dancing death.
Yep, the green one like takes one step back, muttering, just like you did her. And that is its turn. Next, that is Anela.
Isn't Naylor back? I don't think I've heard from him yet.
There we go. Sorry, I just realized I was muted again. How close are these specters standing together?
The green one actually approached. The other two are grouped together because they haven't made a move yet.
Okay. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're in wild shape brown bear. That's a bonus action. I'll pull that out. And then whichever one's closest, I'll hit. Which I don't know. I assume is the green one.
Um, where I'm going to assume that you, as a tank, were at the very forward. Veritas was near the back because he's not the tank. So I'm gonna say that it's either the black one or the blue one. But if you want, you can
Okay.
move to the green one. It's whatever you want. You can
I'll
reach
go
on
to
green.
this blue one right here.
Okay.
And then give me 1 second as I multi-attack with this bite. Please don't tell me
That hits.
Both of them hit.
1 second.
That's only one of the attacks.
Bite and then claws. We'll do this in a second. So yeah.
Yeah, they all hit.
Okay, so damage and damage. So 16 damage.
5 piercing, 16 damage.
Yeah.
That's going to be 8.
Okay.
These are non-magical, right?
They are not
If I'm, yeah.
for now.
Even though I'm magical right now, yeah.
Okay, so that is it is not bloodied yet. But you managed to rip a chunk out of it, even though it's made mostly out of mist. Okay,
Awesome. That was my turn. Thank you.
next, Jason.
Jason is going to look at his options and charge straight at it was green that Veritas and everyone was beating up on, right?
Yep, the bloodied one.
All right. Yep, as he charges forward, he's gonna. This is just a bit of flavoring as he kicks the shin for a fighting spirit. Made him a samurai.
Okay.
So that will give him advantage on this attack here. Yeah, and that was really helpful. Grand total of. It's not adding it.
Okay.
That's going to be a total of 11. It should be adding an additional damage modifier, but it's not. So
You also
okay.
can, add that inspiration to damage if you like.
yeah, it's a D6. Yes.
Yep.
Why not?
16 halved is 8 damage.
8. Let me see. No, like just by the skin of its teeth. You
Action
think
surge.
like even this? Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's on them.
No, I've only got one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to re-roll this real quick just to make sure. Okay, now it's working. Ignore that second damage. 16.
So the green one howls, and you think it's at just like even the slightest hit, and it's going to dissipate and just fall to the ground. It, mutters, its eyes still fixed at nothing. You utter bastard should be still alive if not for you. And next turn, Jason, you almost killed it.
I may actually have something real quick.
Huh.
No, it take. I'd be able to whack it with a hand axe to the rest of the group, right?
There?
Do you have a shield?
Nope.
If I remember correctly, using offhand when you don't have the two
Dang
weapon
it.
fighting, you don't add your stuff to the damage, but you can still do the swing as bonus action.
It's not bonus action.
Pretty sure it's bonus action.
Nope, already burned my bonus action. Never mind. That's me.
Alright, Bill.
Is Beal in melee?
Not yet. He can become like go into melee by moving if he wants to. But
she
no
does
one
not
is like,
want
yeah. Okay.
because I'm a sorceress and I have a meta magic. Let's see, that is a first level spell, so I'm going to twin spell Guiding Bolt. And I'm going to Guiding Bolt the black and blue and the brown and blue.
Brown, black and blue. You're going to attack black one and the blue one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, the blue one's a little damaged, the black one is undamaged. Please roll.
So, that shouldn't have. Well, are they in melee with other people?
Blue one is in melee with. Who was the one that did the damage? Anila, right? Anila.
Yeah.
So, I do have pack tactics.
Huh. Ah. Yeah, so that 20 hits. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens if the 20 is it a crit?
No.
No, because
it's
it's magic?
Natural crit. It's gotta be a natural 20 to crit.
Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
dirty 20, so it's a total of 20.
Alright, what's the damage?
That
Is this
damage
the
for
black
that,
one or oh yeah, blue one? 17 magic? Radiant?
Radiant.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have radiant like resistance. Yep,
I
of
would
course
be
not.
surprised if he did.
17. Yeah, you burn that like specter into cinders. Like it falls, but it doesn't disappear like specters are supposed to. It maintains its form. It just falls immobile to the floor and like ground and does not move anymore. It's like for all intents and purposes, it's dead. Take it out of initiative. Wow, 17.
Here's the bolts to the black one.
Okay,
That's a 12.
just hit it.
Well,
14 radiant.
Like, how do you roll so high on the damage?
That's
it's
actually not high.
46.
Huh.
Yeah, no, that's about average.
Oh, really? All right.
Because here's
So-
the full description of the spell there.
Yep. Let me see. 46. I didn't know it was guiding bolt was that. Okay.
It's a pretty damn good spell.
Yeah, it's a really good spell to have right now when almost everything else they have resistance against. You got this bloodied. You at a single stroke, you like murdered one of the specters that was not even bloodied, and another one you have seriously injured. Blue one didn't even manage to get like anything out of him because you killed it before its turn.
Which, by the way, if anyone attacks that black one there, their next attack on it against it has advantage.
Okay.
Because Guiding Bolt.
If Soldier just looks at you and goes, "Ah, yes, the correct choice," and also guiding bolts, and I'm gonna laugh.
But yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next is Zofra.
Ah, the correct choice, Guiding Bolt. And I have advantage because one's already been hit by it, I believe.
Yep. Oh my god.
19, does that hit?
Yes.
It takes it to 20 points of damage.
That's a high
Yeah.
roll.
That's pretty good.
Wow. All right. It only gets half of its, like, what it was about to say across before it also, like, collapses immobile to the ground. Like, it's like whatever it was about to say, like, it was like squashed halfway like a mosquito. So you don't really catch much of it. Something about, no grave and like their bones being eaten. And now the only one that's left alive is the critically injured Green Wraith Spectre.
Oh boy. So that means it's Barnaby's turn.
Beal is just a rogue, I promise, guys. She launches 2 guiding bolts.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna believe it at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Their deception's pretty stupid high.
When you see
Barnaby's-
literal light burn from their hands, what they're gonna claim happened there?
I sneezed.
Barnaby.
It's Barnaby's turn.
Yeah, it would be burnt if that's all you got, Sulfur.
Yeah, that's just my turn.
Barnaby is going to just fly a little higher just to get a better shot, and is going to shoot at the green one again.
Okay, please roll.
It's a 15 to hit.
Yep, hits.
For 12 piercing.
It's dead. Even with the half, Barnaby's arrow hits it clean in the neck. It gurgles, and then it slowly collapses to the ground. The mist of the lake seems to retreat back from it, and you think that the battle is over, and some of you might even start to lower your weapon. But then you also see the lake has frozen over at the edges again. You see 4 more shapes climbing from the deep waters and breaking to the surface, howling. And I'm going to ask all of you to roll Arcana outside of the turn, because it's not the same ones as you just fought, you don't think. These are not specters.
Do I get an advantage for the Spectre roll I had last time?
Yep.
Nice. I needed that, 18.
Okay.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, these are not specters. You think that whatever attacked you just now, they were minors, so they were turned into the lesser specters? These are wraiths. And these are wraiths, and they were apparently adventurers of some skill back when they were alive. And as they start climbing out of the lake,
Oh.
out of nowhere, you realize with the start that one of the wraiths are already there, right by you, like in your midst. Let me get the picture.
Hey guys, so we're running, right?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're turning the fuck around and running.
Four
Yeah.
wraith. Level 3.
So-
I'm sorry, you said the word how many wraiths?
That's like that's a TPK. There's
That's
no
a
way you
TPK,
can take
we're
out.
running. We're running. That's not a fight. That is not a fight. That's instant death.
Mm,
Alright,
If we know
so-
they're right, like
the 3 are
let me just finish.
too much.
You're fine. Go
Alright.
ahead. Sorry.
So the one that's actually standing by you is also not like all the wraiths that just climbed out of the lake, because this one is not maddened. He looks far more humane, almost so much that if it was not his interior form, you would have just thought he was like a warrior like any of you. But in his appearance, and also in his demeanor. And then he actually reaches out towards the wraiths. Their maddened wraiths are climbing out of the lake, and he calls each of them by name. Says, Dan, Liam, Marjorie, Brent, stand down your weapons. Do not let your rage devour your senses. These are not your enemies. They stand with the sons of the Freehold. And as he says that, you see the wraiths climbing out of the lake stop dead at those words, and then their unearthly glow dies down until they stand like black statues in the darkness, barely visible. But only barely visible to Anila and Jason because all of you have dark vision, so you guys can still see them.
I have dark vision as well.
Yeah. So only the way the light glints and the misty blades tell you that these were once adventurers like you. Then the ghostly man turns to you and he says, actually looking at all of you in turn, and his gaze fixes on the two Goliaths, Zofra and Anila, and he says, Anila, Zofra, friends of the Sons of the Freehold, if you would do so, step forward. And he actually calls to you. You are about a few feet away from him, about like not too much, about 15 feet. Do you want to step closer to him, or do you want to step back, ignore his advice, whatever? You can choose.
That depends on what Anila does. For me, at least.
All right. Everyone can act according to initiative at what just happened. Starting with, I guess, Barnaby.
Barnaby sees that this ghostly fellow just stopped 4 wraiths from killing us. His gut tells him to just fly a little closer, keeping outside of his melee range, but kind of lowering his weapon, maintaining concentration on his hunter's mark, but flies a little closer to the fellow.
You put the hunter's mark on him?
No. I'm just maintaining concentration on it since the concentration lasts for an hour.
Okay.
So I'm just maintaining it for now, just so the spell doesn't end.
All right.
I'm not putting it on him.
Okay. All right. Let me know if that is the end of the turn, and next can.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
Let me just roll. Yeah. Okay, he's waiting, so I'm not even going to roll initiative for him right now. Next is Veritas.
After coughing up a significant amount of blood, you know, Barnaby, I think this is gonna make for a dope story. Maybe. Oh, fuck. I sit down. I just sit down. Cough up a little bit more blood. As, again, Veritas is kind of a sick individual. Literally. Zolfra, you probably have a bit more of an idea of what's going on. Beal, you absolutely know that when that thing struck him, it probably hit him in the chest.
Yeah, I remember what I saw.
Yeah, so he's having some minor difficulties. And then he will
Minor my ass.
he will end his turn. You're right, minor your ass, because I have 11 hit points at the moment. Yeah, Jesus.
So you sit down. All right, Anila.
Yeah, I'm not muted, right?
No, you're
Okay.
good.
No.
Okay. I mean, how close am I?
About 15 feet meter, sorry, you guys, like, I can't believe Americans use feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10 meters away.
What's the plan here? Can I turn to whoever's next to me? Like, are we just all out brawling here?
I mean, no. Oh, fuck no.
So far, like, the only two people he called were Anila and Zofra.
Yeah. This ghost basically called you by name to come talk.
Okay, that's what I was worried about. Like, I thought I misheard that, and now, okay. All right, well, I'm coming up. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do this.
All right, you take a few steps forward. Jason. He's still waiting for Zofra, so he does not speak yet. It is Jason's turn.
He does not trust the situation one bit. It's gonna keep a sword up. Doesn't have a shield. Otherwise, that's pretty much his turn.
Okay, so he is on his guard. Beal. Okay. This is on whom? Veritas? Sorry, am I the only one that can't hear you?
I can't
Oh,
hear.
I was muted. It was sorry. Viridus.
I
Yes.
Okay.
am just barely above half. No, I'm a good bit above half health now. Thank you. Thank you very much, Peel. Didn't, honestly, I should have thought, ghost armor doesn't really matter with ghosts, so that's, my bad. Ow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Zofra.
I am going to carefully and cautiously follow my sibling.
Okay, so you both take a few steps forward. Then he starts speaking again. He says, and so far he's speaking in common. Your ancestors have marked how you have honored them every step of your journey. They have asked me to be the conduit to pass on their ancient blessings to you. Would you accept this? And he looks at both of you.
I'd like you to clarify what you mean by ancient blessing.
What does Anila say?
I'm pretty sure. Am I still in bear form?
Yeah, you are. You didn't say that you have changed.
Then I will exit out of bear form because it doesn't seem like we're actually in a fight.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a hand on my brother's shoulder and just be like, maybe in the weirdest of ways, this is an answer. Unusual, but have we not encountered nothing but unusual lately? Does this not perfectly fit?
You're not wrong there. They do somehow know our names, is further complexing.
And if you suss them out to be that of twisted tongue and ill manner, then we will deal with them.
Can I roll insight to see what the intentions of this being is?
It's kinda gonna be a disadvantage because I'm sorry, this is a ghost. You're like, it's harder to read like that, people. But please do try.
Okay, Adila, are you giving me
I'm
assistance?
giving you guidance and assistance, yeah.
Yep.
In whatever
So
I
it's
can.
It's normal roll for me praying. 16. Ooh, I got
And then I
D4.
gave you guidance. Yeah.
20.
Oh,
Yes.
when he was given an ask, and he's going to carry this out to the best of his ability. There is nothing more and nothing less.
So,
All right.
yeah, I'll convey that to Anila. Difficult to say outside of that what their intentions are.
And this is what he looks like in chat. Yeah.
Yep. You
Okay.
see him in. He has he's far more humane than the mist-shaped wraiths. It's almost like
Yeah.
he is a person, but a bit more transparent. He has bright red hair, a beard that's like barely more than a stubble, and he's also wearing half armor.
Man, you look like a from House Jeffries. You're not a Goliath. You're a human, yes? And our ancestors chose a human to speak to us.
He says slowly, "Will you take? Will you listen? Will you hear their words?"
To hear my ancestors' words, I am willing to hear that.
Yes, please.
Then he nods, and then suddenly his voice changes into ringing tone, and he speaks in the ancient language of the giant folk, that of the mountain spirits. This language has been long forgotten among the human folk and among the people of Snowfirstia, but you know at least a remnant of it, even though even to you, you know only bits and pieces because the language has been long lost, except in rituals and in old ceremonies.
Okay.
And then he says, "In standing," and in a voice that is very different from what what the voice he was speaking. "In standing against the grave evil, you have found courage and resolve, and that is as it should be. For when you come out of the storm, you are not the same Goliath that walked in. Storm son, storm daughter, wear this blessing with pride. For all the regarded shall know you to be true sons and daughters of the Burya tribe. In you, its tempestuous spirit shall live on." And as he says this in giant folk language, a glowing tattoo appears on your forearm, both of you. And it is also in the ancient runes of your tribe. Zofra, yours says resolve, and you feel strength coursing towards you. Anila, yours says understanding, and your will has become more steadfast. Please add a permanent +1 to strength saving throw for Zofra and +1 to wisdom saving throw for Anila. These are permanent.
Ooh, thank you.
The strength saving throws.
And then he also continues saying in Giant Folk, but with the hint of sadness in the mountain spirit that speaks through him, you will need to come to need both in the coming days, sons and daughters of the mountain.
Oops, sorry. I pushed the wrong button.
Also, even though this is he has finished speaking, Anila, you also hear something else, something that he didn't say. And it's very low, like the whispering of leaves that scatter in high winds of a summer storm. And this is what it says. Anila Burya, twice blessed and beloved of the tempest. Listen to the storm and where it leads you. As the storm once led you through, it will not fail to lead you through again, as an unerring arrow that finds its target ever in the dark. And then the whisper dissipates, and with it also the strange glow, and the man is back to the wraith form that he is before the giant mountain spirit spoke through him.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have?
Yeah, I want to look to my brother and you can see there's definitely an emotional movement through Anila.
Sulfur would be looking at the arm, focusing on the markings, the resolve etched into his flesh as it glistened with meaning and purpose. It seems we found a touch of our ancestors, though I'm still perplexed why it is here. What did you hear? I'm seeing if their words mirrored what I heard myself.
I'll relay mine. It was mostly just being. Sorry, can you say mine again?
Which part?
Just that last little part of my
Oh,
setup.
oh, so okay. I say that again. Anila Bria, twice blessed and beloved of the tempest. Listen to the storm and where it leads you. As it once led you through, it will not fail to lead you through again, as an unerring arrow that ever finds its target in the dark.
Okay, thank you. So, and I'll say that to my brother, but it seems like we need to have trust and faith in what we're doing. And maybe I'm gonna look at this person here that's with us and just be like, thank you. I have more questions, but I think these are questions that I cannot wait to ponder upon and see where they lead me.
He smiles at you, a gentle smile, and says, if you ask your questions, and the mountain spirits will answer in time, when it is time. And then he will turn to the rest of you, the party, his voice returning to its normal tenor, and he's speaking common again, and gives all of you a rueful smile, almost apologetic, and then he says, Bill, Veritas, Barnaby, Strayson, forgive me. Unlike the gigantuan forefathers of the Goliaths, I have not the power to bless you so permanently. I was but a man after all, and now, less than a man, trapped in the caverns where I met my end. But, nonetheless, will you too accept what little protection a wayward lost race can confer upon you at this late hour? And then he looks at all of you.
Hey.
I mean, I don't see why not.
You see Neil giving you like thumbs up.
Well, if the pretty tall lady says you're good, then I guess you're good.
This
That's
is
right.
like
Come get blessed.
the third rudest day I've had.
You know, I was expecting us to be fighting and killing each other, not hearing of our ancestors, so
You know,
this is a bonus either way.
you know, you're not wrong.
I mean, this could be a trick.
It could be, but
Well, if it is a trick, they've been very elaborate. These shows his glowing arm with the power flowing through it.
I feel that if they wanted to, they would have done their damage now.
yeah.
Plus,
They're
Considering what those little ones did to me, I'm pretty sure the four big ones could have just, you know.
euthanized you.
That's the nice way to put it. I'm pretty sure I would be a paint smear on the wall. I look down at how much blood I spit up.
I'm gonna walk over to Veritas and we'll cure wounds.
You know what?
Please
I'll
stop
just
spitting up blood. It's not great.
yeah, I guess I'll just be at full health then. Just the only two ladies in my life currently keeping me healed. Wonderful. Thank you both.
Now go get your blessing from this
Okay.
strange gentleman.
Fine. You know what? I trust you. Beal, if anything
Now
goes
kiss.
ass, you can wait for me to go just like usual, so if it goes ass ups, you can run. And I'll walk forward first.
Okay.
Alright, he's actually going to wait until all of you walk forward. Do any of you stay back?
Jason won't.
Barnaby will fly forward and land next to Veritas.
Alright, I guess it's a whole group activity. Come on, Beal.
Beal's just gonna look down at the water.
Jonas, or I take the rock. Oh, you're already here.
Alright,
Well,
so
Yep.
She goes over.
okay. Right. So he reaches out to you, and a heatless blue flame engulfs you all. The effects of life drain, if any, are reversed, but you don't have any life drain. You hit 4d6 HP, and a strange arcane calm descends upon all of your minds. You're not quite sure what this is, but you feel that you will not be as easily swayed by any measure, arcane, spiritual, or otherwise, against the influences that try to make you feel, see, or do things against your will and against what is true. And then he says the following. When the regrets of the past comes to devour you, you will not lose your way, for our blessings go with you. Go with my thanks, brave adventurers, for all you have done for my children, for the trust and compassion you have shown them. And he gives you guys a sad smile.
I mean, Zolfa's pretty weird, but you know, she shrugs
Just
with a
chuckle.
smile.
Yeah, just chuckle.
Is this because I'm a picky eater? Is that what you're going on about?
Sure.
I would like to do something now that I am at full HP, well, this gentleman has just blessed us. I'm an idiot and forgot what kind of tiefling I am, so I'm just gonna cast this for free.
Okay?
Yeah.
That would have been nice, but it wouldn't have done anything against the ghosts, but maybe I wouldn't have hurt as much.
When you forget
Yeah.
your big abilities, and you just be like, oh damn.
Dude, I'm used to playing the normal tieflings fight me.
Alright, so that is it. Like no more comments.
Mm-mm.
Done? Just checking.
Yeah, I'll be good. And
Yep.
let him leave.
Okay. Yeah, and he actually meets like his eyes for a moment with you. Veritas, because you're the one that interacted the most with his children. Gives you a nod. You're not quite sure what it is. It might be approval, it might be gratitude, it might just be sadness. And then he's going to disappear.
I would like to roll insight to see see those emotions. See if I can get a grasp on it.
Okay, please roll insight.
That's a ghost.
9.
No, I don't think you don't have to give me anything for a 9.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
No, I mean, no. Yeah. You're not sure what it was. It's just that he lingered just a second, and then he left.
He's checking you out.
Alright. That is it. Okay. You are standing, and as he disappears, so does the 4 wraiths that have been standing in the darkness quietly, almost immobilely. And before they disappear, you also see that they too have been rendered almost talking with you, just like, the spell of madness has passed from them. One of them is a human woman, two of them is a human man, and one of them is also a dwarf. Not that it matters very much. They were clad in the gear that is typical of the True Heaven Freehold. Okay. Moving on. You guys are now standing alone at the lakeshore. There are a couple of boats that are floating by the shore, abandoned apparently by the miners during this critical accident / crisis. Do you try to cross the lake and go to the other side where much of what happened?
We kind of have to.
Yeah, Barnaby's just gonna start flying over.
Smart man.
I wonder if I have. We have
All right.
fly?
Ladies and gentle giants, would you like to get in the boat?
Jason gets in a boat.
I pat Jason on the back.
Anila just stares at the boat, and then looks at her brother. You trust this craft?
Not from what was seen in the memory. If you recall, that was where everything that went wrong happened.
Interesting. As I step in the boat.
My hand reaches out and checks the buoyancy with it, no doubt rocking rolls within from before I eventually step in.
Okay. All right. So, let me know if any of you refuse to step in or do otherwise. I know Barnaby is flying. Is he flying so high that he's trying to avoid the fumes of the lake as much as possible?
Yeah, he'll be doing that. It's good. Survival instinct kind of kicks in. It's like, no, don't wanna do
Please
that.
roll survivor at an advantage.
Oh, okay.
Bill, you have to be strong. I believe in you. Come with us.
That's a natural 20 for 27.
Yeah. You managed to be completely impervious to the effects of the lake because you somehow managed to navigate the fumes and to weave around it using the air currents like Top Gun personified, Tom Hanks style. And if you want, you can reach the other side without even a moment of being touched by the magic of this lake.
Yeah, he'll just kind of land on the other side. Like, oh, well, that was easy, and look back to the others, patiently waiting.
Bill, you gain that bardic inspiration to use on anything you have to roll. So get you your d6, and Veritas will just take out his guitar and just goes, well, shall we? And just starts strumming a little bit.
I promise if you start seeing visions, I'll, I don't know, punch you in your clavicle.
I mean, to be fair, if you want it to be effective, just dead center chest, remember? Best case scenario,
Nah.
just knock me out.
I'll kick your shin.
We can just hold your literal being in place as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put up much of a fight now, would I?
If you're that worried, we can bond you now. Deal with you later.
Oh, come
We
on.
have
I mean, I
room.
didn't realize you two were into bondage.
It just starts chuckling. Right.
I am confused at the
I just
tone
Don't.
of your voice.
I pat
Don't.
Zofra on the back. Let's
Let's
just
get going.
in the boat.
I'm already in the boat.
All right. In that case, I just I start rowing.
Okay, so you start boats move glide onto the surface of the lake, which is totally immobile, not even slightly steered by wind. It's almost like you are floating on a pane of glass and crystal. You the mist start rising around you so thickly that you cannot see an inch past you soon enough as you head to the center. The whistling sound of wind fills your ears even though the water itself doesn't move and then recedes, giving way to susurrating voices and figures in the mist. For a moment, you all are taken back to that one moment in your life that you regret the most, that you wish you had made a different choice than the choice that you made. And you wish the one moment that you wish you could return to. Starting with the same initiative, I know Barnaby is not affected by it. So the next one is Veritas.
Yeah, about that. There ain't a thing in his life that he would change. He is exactly where he wants to be in life.
Man, maybe I should have ordered the chicken instead of the fish.
Nope, not even that. Every decision, if anything even slightly deviated, he would have never found Beale. And that is the highlight of his life. So, for anything to change would mean to lose Beale, and he would change nothing.
Alright, so Veritas, you almost reflexively lean over and look beyond the edge of the boat into the reflexive surface of the glassy lake. And there, reflected on it, you see yourself as you are right now, but you're holding Bill in your arms, exactly as you had picked it up when you first found him on the streets. Bill looks up, like a little hooded form in your arms, and meets his eyes with you. And you remember meeting the eyes for the first time, so very long time ago. And that is all you see.
Just a smile.
Right? You smile, and reflexive surface in the lake smiles back at you. Anila, your turn.
Oh, snap. Okay. What do you want me to just say what I would regret most of my life?
What do you like? What is the one moment? Describe that one moment you regret the most.
There was a moment in Anila's life where she was caught up in quite a moment with somebody else, and she regrets not saying something or at least making a move.
You also lean over and watch the mirror surface of the lake, still unmoving, and you see him, and you see your reflection, and you see his reflection in the lake, like put a hand over your shoulders and lean over and whisper to you. I wish you had told me. You still have a chance. And the reflection actually reaches out a hand towards you as if beckoning you towards the lake. Next turn, Jason.
Obvious choice is obvious.
Eh,
It would be that one particular meeting with Octavia.
Which one?
The one that resulted in him getting the shit kicked out of him, and then Sally getting the shit torn out of her.
I have a question. So what you regret is you not betraying her and trying to warn Sally. You wish you had not warned Sally because at least that would have spared her and you a lot of pain. Is that it?
More, it's just could have gone about this in a much smarter way, but nope, I freaked and, yeah, people got hurt for it.
What is the smarter way? What do you wish you would have done?
In his mind, probably been yeah, I'll play along, secretly goes to Sally, and then be like, hey, this is going on. We should probably, or at least definitely you should get the hell out of Dodge.
Rather than
So
making
you-
a public display, keeping it private. From my understanding.
All right. So you lean over. You also watch the glassy surface of the lake resolve into reflection, and there is not you do not have a reflection. It's almost like you want to erase yourself from the memory. But Sally, bloodied, pleading, reaches out towards you as if from the waters and says, "You could have saved me. Please take my hand. Please pull me out of this hell." And you almost lean over, and then your mind goes fuzzy and blank, and for a moment it's almost like this is all real. And if you reach over and if you could reach into the waters and pull her out, then you could save her from the hell that you watched her go through over and over and over again. Ew. What about you?
When she was very, very young, like newly hatched, just came out of the egg young. She wishes she knew why she was kicked out of the tribe, out of her clan. Out of her family. The real reason behind it. She asked why.
How old was he when she was kicked out?
Very, very young. Like
Infant,
newly hatched.
yeah.
Can't
even speak. Okay.
Barely speak, yeah.
Do you remember your parents?
She was born in amongst the rest of the kobolds, so no.
All right.
Kobolds kind of have like a collective, everyone takes care of the eggs situation.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is not real. This is, in a sense, an amalgam of magic and what you have become used to and what you wish and what you regret. And you have lived too long with the humans. You have lived too long Veritas. So much of your culture and your acceptance of it has become human in a sense. And therefore, though kobolds do not exactly have a mother or a father, you look into the glassy reflection of the lake and you actually see what you feel at the moment in your fuzzy state is your mother and your father. And they reach out to you desperately, pleadingly, tears in their eyes, and says, we can't believe we lost you. We always wanted you back. Come back to us. You are the ones that left us. And come back, and we will be a happy family again, as we were always meant to be. And, they are calling it you from the waters. Zofra.
Hello.
Yep.
Oh, you want me to describe?
Yep. What do you regret?
What do I regret? I think the deepest regret that Sulfur has is not ending the life of his father.
Because?
Because of the things they have done to Anila in the past. In doing so, it would have ensured her getting to her rightful position.
Alright. So, do you hate your mother?
I never
Did
got
you-
to know her.
The father.
Yeah, the father.
Do you hate the father?
There is... It's a mix of hate, disgust, and just disapproval. It's a mixed bag of emotion.
In the reflexive surface of the lake, you see him and you realize that this is probably from the memory of when you were young, because he seems so big, and your rational mind tells you that he himself was not like a gigantic Goliath. So this must have been him, like compared to your size when you were little. And he is laughing, a deep, rolling, hearty laughter, as if he is finding something very, very amusing. And he is meeting your eyes. He is crouching so he can meet your eyes level, face to face, and he says, "And no man are you, and no brother are you. If you had time to blame me, you should spend that time more productively blaming yourself. Is it not the job of brothers to protect their sisters? Have you not failed? And what do you feel at this comment?"
This would not be at all unusual. This is probably just a literal peek into a past memory, trying to stir up the fury within. So, tensing fingers, blood vessels popping out as that rage bubbles beneath the surface, but not lashing out.
You wish you could lash out, but something's stopping you. Maybe even in your fuzzy mental state, you are perhaps the same thing that stopped you last time. In reality, it's the same thing stopping you now. Perhaps it's just that you are a far wiser self and you know that this would not solve the main problem. So you merely stand there, your hand curled into a fist. And with that, the turn order is over. And then with the shatter, almost like a discordant scream coming from 1,000 mouths, all those but Barnaby, those who were captured for a moment under the spell, feel that spell broken. And just like that, the surface of the water also breaks like a broken mirror, and great waves come up everywhere. And just like the lake is rejecting you, you might reject having too much drink after drinking 3 bottles of vodka. The waves carry the ship and dash them against the other side of the lake with force. All of you, except for Barnaby, roll athletics.
Athletics. I'm gonna fail that.
Don't worry, we'll fail together.
Who do we have to roll?
Athletics.
Okay, I just saying who because I wasn't sure if you said me or not.
Everyone except
everyone
for Barnaby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Could
Yeah.
could I possibly roll acrobatics instead?
yeah, you can roll acrobatics.
If we can roll acrobatics instead.
Yeah, if you have better acrobatics, please roll that instead.
Nope, I have better athletics, so I've already made that. I'll give
You
myself
know what?
a
I'll
D4.
keep my 18.
Fuck! A 9.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
So you think the blessing of Sally's father probably helped you break the spell? but it is still with you, so it has not disappeared. And as for the athletics, Anila and Veritas, you land softly, almost gently on the sandy banks of the other side of the lake, not injured at all. Bill, you might have been a little injured, but I think Veritas just snatches you out of the air just in time, and you are back in his arms again, and he puts you down gently. Zofra, with that roll, it is not enough. You are going to take 1d6 damage, blunt.
Damn, apparently sand hurts a lot. Okay.
10 feet of falling damage are fine.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
And rocks.
Also rocks.
Do I need to roll it, or are you rolling?
Please roll.
Roll the d6. Take your damage.
5.
Ouch! I think you smashed your head against the jutting rock from the other side.
Roll athletics again to see if you break the rock.
Oh, is Jason taking
you
damage?
need to roll athletics.
I did. I rolled a 9.
You got a 9. Jesus.
Oh, okay. You also take the same damage.
Do I roll my own, or do I just take
Roll your own, please.
Make
Roll
the
a
GM's
one.
life easy.
How'd you?
There you go.
Huh? It's just a
can't-
flesh wound. You land badly, but you land at the sandbank, unlike Zofra, who landed on a rocky crack.
Amelia
Zofra
rolled your ankle.
headbutted a rock. Jason, you bruised your tailbone.
All right. So, please move back to the Discord, because I think this is end of the initiative for now. And yeah. Once you pick yourselves up and try to figure out what just happened, after you calm down a bit, I'm going to ask all of you to roll investigation or nature. You cannot roll both, and you're going to get different answers depending on what skills you rolled.
Would a perception also be viable?
Oh, sorry. Is perception not investigation?
So
there's two
perception?
different. Perception is
Oh,
something that
okay,
you see
then-
naturally. Investigation is something you're looking for.
It's investigation.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill, you roll an additional investigation or nature roll with an advantage due to mining knowledge.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because you're.
Yeah, so yeah.
20. Jesus, me and Anila over here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which, so I'll go ahead and go to investigation. Over. 7. She's.
You did just
I
go
don't
through quite the
think
roller coaster.
After Veritas, grabbed her out of the air, she doesn't want to be put back down.
Okay. So she cuddled right next to Veritas and his half plate. Half plate is kinda hard, but you still like it.
I put my coat over the half plate, by the way.
Okay.
I like to stay warm.
The coat doesn't fit because the half plate is too bulky.
Damn, gotta get a new jacket.
Alright. So with that, you guys got 20 on nature for Anila, 16 on nature for Barnaby, and 20 on investigation for Veritas. Okay. So those who wrote nature, this area used to be, especially Zofra, because you just hit your head against the rock. But this area used to be a place of volcanic activity in the past. You see deep ditches in the stone that must have been where lava used to flow, and volcanic rocks everywhere with holes like Swiss cheese. There is also a half-mined vein in the area, and a bunch of modified mining equipment and camping equipment scattered nearby. But it's really strange because unlike the meteor veins you've seen so far, this one is in spherical clusters and it's a glossy black color with rainbow outlines and not the electric blue outlines of meteor.
So like obsidian.
Not quite.
Adamantine?
You rolled about 20, right, Nila?
Right.
Yeah. So what Bill suggested, almost half wonderingly, is right. This is adamant, the rarest and the most precious metal to ever grace the face of Toril. So rare are these, even more rare than Mithril, that very few adventurers ever even lay eyes on it. And wars and blood have been shed because of this. That is the nature roll. And I am going to move on to the investigation roll because Veritas rolled 20. Veritas. When you shake your mind out of the magic that you just underwent and look around, you actually find bodies half buried in the sand and the mud. Some of them myconid, some of them human. Because the mud is like peat, and it's like mud, and the bodies are very well preserved despite the passage of presumably 3 weeks, because you think these are the results of what happened that triggered this whole crisis. Though some of them actually seem gnawed upon as if by small outside beasts. You also see with 20 that tiny tracks lead away from the bodies. And you actually see drag marks of something big that accompany these tiny tracks. And because you're 20 and above on this, I'm going to give you one more thing. Whatever was dragged away was not inert. It was not a corpse. It was at least moving or at least breathing. Some of it.
So signs
And
of
then
a little bit of a struggle.
Yep, and something being dragged against their will. Okay, these are what you find out with nature and investigation. You're going to need to later, if you want to follow the tracks, roll investigation or navigation again. But for now, this is what you know.
Yeah.
It's discussed.
Alright, whatever's been harming these people, well, I see their tracks and what has happened to the unfortunate souls that were on that boat. Barnaby, and I just, nod over towards the tracks. Tracking's your thing, Mr. Hunter Man.
Well, I suppose I could give it a shot. It's a bit different, but
Bill has already pulled out a dagger and is trying to chip away at some of the adamantine and collect it.
Yeah, if that is indeed adamantine.
Adamant, not adamantine. Adamantine is an alloy. The raw form is adamant. You would know this, Bill.
Okay.
I mean, if that is what that is, then Zulfra, this is something for you. We could get you something made with this, like a mace or a warhammer.
Potentially, I do have a preference for blunt weapon.
Of course, well, I mean,
It
some
fits your
things
personality.
could also make you some armor out of it. If you want to try to break it apart, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Roll to collect some.
No. The statement is, adamantine is adamant is the hardest base metal basically ever, and unless your dagger is adamantine or diamond, it won't even make a chip.
Oh, yeah, like the clusters, what those are around the cluster.
So what you can do is to spend some time investigating to see if there's anything they dug up, maybe a loose like ore that like rolled to the side that they didn't manage to see.
Okay.
It would
Yeah.
take some time, so you're spending time to try and discover this.
We'll do it on the way back. Would be the best way to do this.
I would give you, if you're only going to spend a little time before moving on, I'm going to give you like a chance, but at very high difficulty. The difficulty is going to be lower the longer you spend on this. How many minutes do you want to spend on this?
As
Whatever.
long as the party will allow her.
You got like 5 to 10 minutes, if that. And I'm gonna give you advantage. And please remember that you do still have that D6 on you.
Yep.
All right. 10 minutes tops. Okay, please roll.
Investigation.
Yes.
Yeah, you ain't getting it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
We'll look on our way back, Beal. We ain't got time for this. Somebody might still be alive.
Fine. So much money, though.
I know. On the way back. You know me. I'm a
Wanna
sucker
be
for gold.
rich.
I know.
Yeah.
We still got money to get off this job, though.
Barnaby has been waiting. He's been
I pick up Beal. And I go,
yeah.
Oh.
Barnaby's been waiting, just watching these two. It's like, I know we're on a time limit when you're saying that, but you're saying it 10 minutes after letting her try to. Okay, well, I guess now I'll do the tracking if that's what you want me to do.
yes, please, sorry.
Also, that was like 3 weeks ago. They're definitely dead.
Okay. What checks? What options do I have to make this check?
Please roll whatever you think is the best for this. Probably survival. I will let you do perception or investigation.
I would like to assist with this because I did actually locate the tracks.
Okay.
That's a 22 survival.
Okay. That is more than enough. The tracks and drag marks leads to a stone arch. Nothing behind it, just standing in the middle of nowhere. But the footprints that go into it stop there without going on the other side. Going on the other side. Let me find a picture of it. This is what it looks like. Like you just tracks just stop, even though you can look right through it. It's just like a doorway, but the tracks stop. Like it's been cut clean off.
Yeah, I just stick my hand through it because it's an illusion.
Barnaby was going for a rock, and I was like, okay, well, let's do that too, I guess.
Does my hand go
You
through?
throw a rock and it just clatters to the other side, and you can see it just lying there on the ground. You can see your hand, and it's just a hand. It just went through the doorway. Nothing happened. You can still look. You can still look at it. It looks still as normal.
Is there any kind of illusion magic going on here to hide the tracks?
I am going to ask you to roll Arcane.
Okay. I will roll Arcana. 15.
Not high enough and not low enough. There is magic here. It is not illusion magic. It feels like it's a far more fundamental, far more stranger magic than you've encountered here in this continent. There's something foreign about it. Something that takes your breath away.
Is this outside the realm of the base schools of magic?
I don't know, honestly, like as a GM, so I can answer that question. I know what it
apologize.
is, but yeah.
I gotcha. No, if I can't get any more than that, that's perfectly fine. If I know it's not illusion magic, that was my only grasping straw. Because illusion and enchantment's the only things that Veritas does, but if it's neither of those two things, the likelihood of him knowing what it is isn't high.
This is a portal to the Shadowfell.
Might I
I guess.
suggest lowered voices and let me take a little peek?
Of course. Sorry about that, Barnaby. You do you. You're the expert in this field.
Right. Barnaby, what do you do?
Barnaby would like to walk through the archway as quietly as he can.
As soon as you make the determination and you take the step with the intention to pass the archway, and as the foot comes down, you disappear from the view of the others. I'm going to give others a turn to react, and then I'm going to go back to you.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I thought was going to happen. And I'm just going to follow.
Charge. Jason,
Okay, everyone follows, right? Is that it? Is anyone staying behind?
Beal does not like this idea, but she'll follow.
All right. So that's everyone, I assume. Who's the one like bringing up the rear?
I don't think anyone wants to.
Right.
How about
Almost everyone.
Barnaby?
Yes.
Is Barnaby covering the rig? 'Cause he's the rig.
No, Barnaby went first.
Yeah, he's the one that went first.
If this is teleportation, it would be conjuration, which I know nothing about.
All right. So I'm going to assume that everyone knows at the same time. Barnaby, you're the one that comes first. The moment you step beyond the arch, you hear a dry, crackling sound, and then you find yourself in a wholly different place. It is still subterranean, but you see impossibly high ceilings and impossibly tall trees stretching to the ceiling of the cavern, with the vines moving like tentacles reaching down to grab you. Please roll athletics to avoid being grappled.
To avoid being grappled can also be acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Either or.
Yeah, I'll do acrobatics. I'm slightly better. Yeah, 9.
All right. That is not enough. You are like in your surprise at like suddenly like teleporting. You are tangled by the tentacle vines. Please roll 1d4 grapple damage.
Oh, this is
And others, as you all step in at the same time to follow Barnaby, you hear a voice echo in your ears. Much like how the Myconans used to communicate with you, but also very, very different. It says, "Travelers, welcome to the new Warrens of Doubt. We who are many in one welcomes you all." And then you step in just in time to see Barnaby get entangled in the like vines.
I would like to chop the vines with my axe.
All right, please roll.
Okay. 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, it definitely hits. The magical axe like freezes not just that vine, but all the other vines like in the nearby like area, which gives you some time to move and to look around. There's an arch that is still behind you. If you look around, you also see a dead miner hanging from the vines, strangled. You also see a couple of other trees bending towards each other to form an arch, like in the about a 30 meters away. What do you do? All of you.
Well, do we go backwards to the stone arch, or do we go forward into the tree arch?
We could go backwards, go back where we came, and just blow up the arch and be done with it. But something tells me the Myconids want a little bit more information on what happened. So odds are we're gonna have to march forward and actually take care of this threat. Plus, turning tail and running doesn't usually make for a good story.
Please roll arcane. Like while you were speaking. Yeah, the person was Veritas. Please roll Arcana.
24.
You get the feeling that you step towards the arch you just came through, you're not gonna end up in the same place. That such is the magic of the portals.
But does this seem to be Fey magic?
No, but with 21, you have read of an like in an old like book somewhere like far, like when you were in the Imperia city and you like were in a great library, you read of this magical dangerous city that is ruled by one called the Lady of Pain, and that city was called Sigil, and it was called the city of doors. And there were 1,000 doors in that place, and 1,000 keys. And those that held the keys could walk through all the doors and go wherever they wanted, and wherever they did not want. And those that did not hold the keys could go nowhere, and yet everywhere. That is what you remember reading.
I mean, honestly, with the truth be told, we're still better off than where we were. At least here it's warm. He says out loud.
Yes, but
Jeez.
yeah, if we can't go back, even though it's good for us, we're on a time limit. And if we can't get back, those people are going to die.
Yeah. Right. So, I relay the information about the city of Doors, which City of Doors is a fun one in current D&D lore, because it's not just you get access to all of the planes of like all of the like the outer planes, like Celestia, and the City of Doors canonically right now connects to the multiverse.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not great. Being in the City of Doors, we could end up in Faerun, we could end up in Dragonlance, we could end up in Greyhawk. We could
end up in the MCU.
You could, canonically.
Yep. You don't necessarily think you are in the City of Doors, merely that its magic is what is present and is like infusing the air.
Okay, so we're not in the City of Doors, we're in a place that acts like it. Yeah, that's still pretty bad. Veritas will relay the information and be like, well, we need to find keys, and whatever's walking through here has the keys, so we just gotta keep looking for it. Once we have those keys, we can leave.
Veritas, you guys in so much trouble.
Barnaby walked through first. I cross my arms.
Man, to be fair, are the keys in this forest?
It could be here, could be there, could be anywhere.
Only one way to find out. Jason walks forward.
Oh, fuck.
Do you walk through the tree arch?
If no one stops him, yes.
You disappear.
God
Apparently, you already had the key, didn't need the key, you have no idea what's going on. Or maybe someone's opening doors for you just to see where you end up.
We gotta follow.
And
yeah.
Hey, let's go grab him and make sure he doesn't walk through another one.
So we all agree Jason dies first, right?
Probably.
We all take turns going first to see what happens. And he's gonna follow.
Yep.
Alright. As you walk through, you also hear that same discordant 1,000 voices, the one that you heard screaming in rage when the lake's enchantment broke, and it says, From here you should never leave, for none do so when we do not open the way. And this is where you end up. You cannot see more than an inch in front of you, but not because of mist this time. It's because of a flurry of snow. You can feel the wind on your face biting cold. You trip on something. And Jason, you're the first one here, so you're the one that trips on it. And only then do you realize that you were stepping on a couple of frozen myconid corpses, and it's frozen completely, hard like stone, and you smack right into it as you fall, being tripped on there. You see a couple of arches, and they're actually right in front of you, only a few meters. But you also think that any of you that doesn't have cold resistance, I'll spend 30 seconds here and you think your life is gonna be in danger.
30 seconds?
Yeah, literally 30 seconds you think you're going to take HP damage.
Oh, Jesus, that's worse than, well... Yeah, no, that's worse than actual, the mechanics. Just... Eesh. Yeah, no.
There's something magical about the cold here.
Yeah, no, this fucking sucks.
Is there another door?
Next gate, next gate.
Okay, you guys just push through to the next gate that's right in front of you. Do you take the right or the left?
Somebody else make the choice. I don't want to make the choice.
Right.
Okay, you said right.
Yep, so we're going through the right.
Let me see what I had for right. Let me look at the map. You see a voice laugh and says, the cold does not seem to bother you as much, but will flame not burn you? I would love to see. And you guys are standing on a very thin bridge, a very narrow bridge. The heat blasting you is excruciating, and a river of lava courses beneath you. And you actually see a couple of fire imps, but you are the ones that surprised them because they were totally flummoxed by your presence. You have the surprise round on them. What do you do?
First off, I feel more comfortable than I have in a while because I'm fire resistant.
Okay.
Spell guiding bolt at each one.
Are you gonna did you say how many?
2.
Just 2?
Completely surprised.
I can just deal with this.
Yeah, you go ahead and just end it. It'll be fine. Take 2 seconds.
Wow. Okay. Both of them just drop with a small, sad splash into the lava and sink. They did not even have a chance to say or do anything. Right? And then you see the gate a little distance away from you, beyond where the fire imps were. As you move on and pass through it, and please tell me if you guys do anything else.
Barnaby is on the way there. She's gonna say, well, I guess we couldn't ask them anything.
They're imps. Don't trust them.
And, okay.
No, if it has horns and comes from the hells, all their lies trick you like spells.
So you?
Yes. Very tricky bastard. Haven't you seen all of the illusions that I spin?
Oh no, what are we in now? Just changing the subject as you go through the arch.
Yeah, I follow.
He actually
Alright.
doesn't lie that much. Just
Okay,
sometimes.
can I go about 15 minutes more just to wrap this up? Is everyone okay with this running a little late?
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so as you go through the gate, you actually hear that raspy, discordant voice laugh like one that also, again, has 1,000 mouths, and then nod in unison. And it says, Your survivor amuses us. Come, uninvited guests. Face us if you dare. We shall open our doors proper. And you... This was a little different. You close your eyes instinctively as you arrive. For a second, you're disoriented. You don't know where it's up and down. You cannot breathe. The dark currents envelop you as you sink like a rock to the bottom of this deep, fathomless underwater pool. What do you do?
Just, I guess hold my breath and try to make it to the next gate. Because ain't a soul here gonna have a high enough spell slot for breathe underwater.
You force open your eyes, trying to look for an arch, and you do not find any. Do you want to roll perception or investigation, all of you?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
nothing is immediately visible.
It's 24.
6.
Actually,
All right. Barnaby and Jason, you guys are the heroes. Without you, this, you could all have drowned in this place. You make your way to where there is a very light, blue and purple glow, and you actually see that there's a tunnel, also an underwater tunnel, but you think this leads up. You think this is where all the gates end. This is where you were meant to be. It's just that you have to rise to the surface. But you will only rise to the surface through this tunnel. Everything else was a fake. If you tried to just swim straight up, you would have found a stone ceiling. And there you would have met your end. You know this, with the rolls that you have just rolled. But you are already running out of breathe a little, so if you try, how are you even going to communicate this? You cannot speak, this is underwater.
Barnaby is going to try to move his wings and flap it to gain everyone's attention, and then just point and start heading towards the tunnel.
Yeah, I'll just follow. The suffocation rules is 1 minute plus your constitution modifier, so we should have enough time to swim unless it's ridiculously far away.
It's a long and twisting tunnel, but since you guys found the tunnel on the first try, I'm not going to ask you to roll drowning rolls. You managed to break through the surface just as you think you were about to suffocate. Just in time. And then you drag yourself out of the waters and into what you think is a pitch black tunnel. It looks very much like the Underdark again, and not those strange planes that you have just shuffled through. But almost there's a very, very faint light coming from the ceiling. But almost all of you have dark vision, so I will just describe what you see. You see a wooden scaffolding that reaches to the opening with a little bit of light at the top that lets in the tiniest bit of light. You also see covering the walls, ancient and faded murals covering every inch. Though currently they are so old and they're much of the moisture has erased them, so you can barely make out the shapes. There is also a faded mural of a gate scratched onto the wall, and beneath it, the fragment of an inscription in Infernal script. But the moss is currently covering it, so you can't read it right now.
I would, yeah, should I go read that for y'all, or?
If you can.
I mean, of course I can. It's devil time. I just grab a dagger and I go scrape the moss off.
Alright, So all of you just wait as he carefully scrapes the moss off the wall, and this is what the scrap of fragment that you eventually discover. It is written in the devil alphabet, but the language seems strange. It is Infernal, but it is old Infernal. You have rarely come across such in your lifetime.
That would have to be really old.
Yeah, so one word there is illegible, so you can't quite read what it is because of the moisture. And that is what you read. Others who cannot read Inferno are all watching at you, wondering what it says. What do you say?
James, cannot read this. Open. Yeah, I'm having a hard time actually reading this.
Well, it is Old English. Most people have a hard time. I'm going to give you an Arcana roll, but it's gonna be pretty hard. If you have any other role, or if you have any other story background where you can say that you have interest in old languages, I will let you have advantage.
Yeah. I don't have any reason to go for old languages. I wasn't aware that was going to be a thing in this game, so I never built anything in for it. So no, I just know normal Infernal. I guess I can roll Arcana, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of other than religion, maybe, but they're the same roll.
Okay.
20.
Roll both. Oh, you got 20. Okay. Yeah, that was just what you needed. So, it is. You didn't get. Alright, so you get most of it. You think it's something like nothing but the blood of those that did, and you're not quite sure what Sirikdar is? But you think that Big Clysodon might be something that is a match for open? So it's probably big close or close. You're not quite sure, but that is what you think it is. You have no idea what Sirikdor is, and you're not quite sure what Afsana is.
Yeah, can you write that down? The new translation?
Just a second.
Yeah. Apologies. Yeah, I just translate out that aloud. Just nothing but the blood of those that did but close. Sirikdor shall. It's too faded. Open Efsona? He says in common. Just. This is really old Infernal, which is very strange because Infernal's a language that doesn't change often, so this has to be ancient.
Very ancient. At least you think almost or beyond 1,000 years.
Yeah, definitely beyond 1,000 years. Just, this is old. Nothing but the blood of those that beclose Sirikdor. Okay, so obviously blood is a key factor here. That's fun. Shall blank open Soma. Well, anybody other than me have special blood?
I'm pretty sure everyone has their own origin of blood, but what do you mean by special?
Well, mine's cursed. He grabs his horns. You know, the whole.
I wouldn't say your blood is cursed, you just have an origin that is of darker nature.
That's
Abu.
cursed blood. It's literally cursed blood. If I ever have a child, it's going to come out with horns and a fur,
Well-
and it grabs the fur around his neck, like, and probably a mane.
And if I ever have a child to come out grey skinned, and if the kobold ever had a child to come out scaly, I wouldn't say it's cursed. It's just
Well, I
Different.
think what he's saying is that a Goliath child will come out as a Goliath. A kobold will come as a kobold. He's not different, as in.
No, it's okay. I explained this poorly. Alright. If an elf and a human were to get together, that would be a half-elf. No matter which one of those two I choose, it comes out a tiefling. My blood was literally cursed due to people dealing with devils. That's how tieflings are made.
I thought it was just devils breeding with another species.
I mean, that can happen that way too, but that also in turn curses that bloodline. Sorry, it's fair. I think that we're going to have to do something with blood here. And I'm very grossed out by it, but we got a job to do, and I think maybe we should take a look around to see where the scaffolding leads, maybe? I don't know. Barnaby, you can fly. Would you mind scouting?
Well, since you asked nicely, he's just gonna fly up.
Thank you.
You don't even, need to fly up because it's not tall. It's just like a few meters, like less than 10. And when you approach the wooden scaffolding, you actually see someone sitting near the top of it on the stairs. You see a gaunt man, soaked in mud and blood, sitting on the steps, actually staring towards where the voices that you because you guys are talking and he heard you, voices are, and he has a tiny limp myconid on his lap. Barnaby, with your dark sight, you see that he is reaching for the sword strapped to his back, and you can see that he is tense, but he looks to be human, which means he doesn't have dark sight, and the light from the top is too faint to reach you guys. So he has no idea who you are or where you are. I am going to send you a couple of pictures of both the baby myconid, like child myconid, and the guy.
Upon seeing him go from the jet, oh, sorry, hold on, let me get something for you here, and let's see. He's just gonna call down to the others. Can someone artificially, magically create light?
Ah, yes, of course, I got you. Hold on, let me look at my spells real quick. Pretty sure minor illusion do light. No, no, I cannot.
Jason lights a torch.
Yeah, I was about to say, but you know what I do got? Torch.
Okay?
Oh, I also just straight up have a lamp, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn on the lamp. There's nothing that's stopping.
Yeah, just turn on the lamp, so we've got some lights.
Okay, so you guys all like stare at Barnaby when he says like sorry, and then like you guys look up, and because all of you have dark sight can also make him out. And when you turn on the light, he can also make you out. And you can also see that the myconid that is currently on his lap is very badly injured, maybe even dead. But it does seem to be moving very, very slightly. And he actually stares at you. And he laughs, and there's a hint of mania in his voice as he says, I will no longer be deceived again by the shadows you conjure. many that speak as one. Have you not had your amusement enough? And then he spits a bit of blood.
I think you. Just okay. So you apparently went through the portals too. Are you from the Freehold?
You actually see from his clothing that he is. And he stares at you as if he's surprised that you would mention the name. And then he says, I do not recognize you. Are you also from the Freehold?
Visitors to the Freehold. Currently doing some business with the Freehold. Were you one of the fellows that had a nasty bit of trouble at the lake?
When you say that you are visitors, he says, then I am sorry, strangers, for you are in no better strait than I. The only door that leads out of this place is barred and welded shut. You stand in your graves, as do I. But then he would also, since you ask who he is, he's gonna answer his name shortly. He says, I am Germain. Do any of you recognize this name? It's been mentioned once in game.
Wasn't the widow person?
Yeah, that's her
Yeah.
husband. Just.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
the one that
fuck.
started all this.
Oh, you unlucky fuck. Oh, your wife is so pissed. He says out loud.
Well, this little. Can anyone heal? This little myconoid
Yeah,
seems
someone
quite injured.
please.
Beal will use her last first level spell slot.
Yeah, just I pat Bill on the back.
When you actually approach, you actually see that this person probably had some healing spells, a little bit. You do not see him in armor. And that it did not work because you believe that it's maybe because of the darkness, the influence that is surrounding this place. There is a sense of oppression in the air. It would take more than the first level healing spells, which is the only one that he has. It has to be at least second level or more.
So use a second level spell slot.
Yeah. So, and he actually explains when you examine him, I did have some rudimentary art in healing and creating sustenance that Brock taught me, but it was not enough. Here in this handful of night, I watched him dying, and I think he is soon. Oh, so this is the second level?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, all right, 8 HP.
That's not
You?
8, that's 13.
Oh, sorry, 13
Yeah.
HP. You actually, he actually says this with faraway look, as if he's very sure that you're also going to fail and the Minecraft child, the baby, is gonna die. But you actually, you reach out, and the warm light that's about to flicker out actually intensifies, and you see the Minecraft wound start to close, and it opens its eyes and it murmurs something. If you listen closely, it's something about being hungry.
Does anyone have any food?
Of course I've got rations. I always hold rations. I'll break out a ration and give the child some food. Right.
Right. As the child is too weak to swallow rations, as you get the feeling that he's been here more than 3 weeks, maybe months even. You have no idea how it survived.
In that case, I shred some of the ration, put it in water, and let him drink the liquid.
All right. Jermaine's gonna help you. He's like a druid after all, even though level 1. He and then he actually turns to you, and then he says, no shadow are you. They would not be so kind to this poor child. He says, ruffling the small, murmuring child trying to drink that water/soup. And then he looks at you, Veritas, and says, what about my wife? what's going on.
Oh,
And then he just turns white, like pale white, as if just remembers something. And he says, "What about the weapons?"
oh, don't worry, that's taken care of. We need to focus about surviving at the moment. We're in bad shape. Right.
You said there was a door that's blocked somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah. So he gestures weakly. You also think that he's like not had much amount of food, maybe because he was making all this like good berries and feeding them to the Myconid instead of eating it himself. So he's like really low health, and he just gestures weakly at the top, and you see that from the light was actually coming out of a little, like between the steel bars. And this is no door. This is just bars. It's all welded shut. It was never meant to open.
Well,
And then he will look at you, and he still says in a low voice, "And yet I will hear the details, if you will, stranger." And that is where we would end this today.
alright.
Okie dokie.